Man United won. West Ham won. Guys, the more you put into this team, the more they disappoint you. I mean, I said it in the preview. I said it in every potential setting that we had that I just have a bad feeling about this, right? And sure enough, like what happens every time we expect this team to do something, they disappoint us. So I'm just sitting here feeling like I'm the idiot for having any expectations. I'm just gonna take a seat here. I just feel like I'm the idiot for expecting anything from this team because honestly, did we have opportunities to score another goal? Yes, we did. Do I have the feeling to be very, very negative right now about the team and about the players? But I'm not. I'm not going to be negative, and that's because I just feel like we're not there yet as a team, right? What there was a reason why Rishi and I in our Stat Patterns episode, and also me before that, with James and Semix, on our Three Devils podcast. I had predicted that we're gonna get 7 points from these 5 games from Everton to Bournemouth, and the team showed us today that we were right, and I don't like being right in not in this way. I would rather be right about being positive than right about being negative about something, right? So I just hate the fact that this is where we are as a team now because we've had 3 winnable games and we've gone to the hardest one of them and managed to get a win. Right? We went to Palace away and we won, but we lost to Everton and we drew to West Ham. And West Ham were crap today. Like, I mean, in fact, I put it this way: I think West Ham were better than Everton, and we put out that performance against Everton. Then we came to today and put out that performance. So I'm very disappointed, guys. I mean, it's hard, right? Because all of us put in so much work into sort of watching this team being available at certain times of the day and all that. And it's just very difficult, man. Sadan says sad game to draw, man. I agree. Man United has been a transition team for years. Midfield is dropping the ball over the place. Yep, I agree. Cunha, I can understand being rusty, but Mbumo was off it today too, and we didn't have proper subs to bring on. I agree. Next time, I'm never watching United at nighttime in India. I hear you, bro. It's very frustrating. In India, it's 3:30 in the morning right now, so I feel your pain. Rishi, obviously, my brother, is watching from India as well. So I feel your pain, man. Look, we're all doing our best to support this team, and it just lets us down. Okay, that's way too dark on my face, but that light was killing me. Give me 1 second. Hold on, I need to mute myself for a quick. I think that looks a little bit better, maybe. At least my face is more visible. I think Rishi. I'm gonna bring on Rishi first since he's up so late. And get his reaction. Rishi.
Uh, y- yeah, dude. I'm gonna do my best to be positive because this is something we foresaw, right? Not exactly in this right order, but we did see the deficiencies in this team, and I think one thing is clear after watching this game that there is no way you can put this on AMORIM. Come on, he coached a good game. The players, the intensity wasn't there. They're playing their second game in 4 days, so obviously that has had a big effect. You could see that Bruno was burned out by the 60th minute. So many opportunities fell to him in the last 10 minutes. He was skying them, right? No composure on the ball. This West Ham team were worse than a 10-man Everton, and they were there to be had. But even for the Everton game, we had the international break just before that. Most of our players had played and traveled, so they were sluggish. And even now, like after the substitutions happened, like guys, we have to face it. The substitutions weren't good enough. They didn't help us. And after the game, the broadcaster cut to Wilcox and Barada, and they had stern, stoic faces. I think if they're worth the salt in terms of their ball knowledge, They
Hold
should
on,
look at that
Rishi.
performance.
Rishi, just so I'm translating it correctly, you're saying we don't have the depth of substitutions, not that
Yeah.
we made the wrong choices. Just to
No,
clarify.
no, 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 absolutely not. Yeah, 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 absolutely. If what I'm saying is, if these guys know football, they should look at that game and say that, okay, we've played too many games in the last few days and the players are sluggish, but who do we have to bring on? The intensity in terms of Aiden Heaven for Euro coming on for Heaven, that was a good sub. I thought they did okay. I haven't seen the goal back yet, the West Ham corner, so I don't know who's at fault for what. But
Yeah.
we'll probably get to know that over the highlights. Um, so I'm not too disappointed. I'm trying my best to be upbeat because we predicted 7 points, and beyond that we see it getting better, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say it's okay. We got a point. At least like last season, there's a chance we could have lost the game, like you also said, right? We could have gone on and lost the game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm glad
But
that didn't
you
happen.
know what's interesting? This might be too big brain because as tired as Rishi is, I feel like it's 3:30 for me as well, right? Because I'm dead tired also. But I'll just be honest. Is it too big brain to say that in the last 3 games we haven't really seen Mbumo turn up to that extent, right?
I mean, dude, I said it in the first half, and then I had people coming at me in the
No,
comments.
they were coming at you because Cunha was worse. That was my point. I didn't
No,
say that.
yeah, no, no, but
Yeah.
forget that, dude. That guy's got a bang on his head. He's come back rusty, right? And he's not looked good in the entire season.
Mhm.
So that is Cunha is another conversation altogether. But today, when you
Guys, we
see a
have
player who
130 people watching. Let's smash the like on the stream, please. This
all
is
I'm
like fourth or fifth hour of being live, so please smash the like button. But yeah, yes, Rishi. Sorry, go ahead.
all I'm saying is that if you had a player who's won Player of the Month, right, in October, and now he's not looked good at all in this month. I'm not even blaming Mbumo for that matter. He could just be fatigued, right? He could just be tired from carrying this team on his back.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
we desperately need someone to freshen up the attacking ranks. You saw when like across the board, dude, like the center back starting line also. Like once Delict was out, who did we play with? Mazraoui, who's a converted centre back, and Heaven, who's a 19-year-old kid, 20 years old maybe, doesn't even have 20 appearances in the Premier League. So I don't blame the players right now. I'm not even blaming the management. There are so many issues around this club. I'm looking at them expectantly. I'm looking at them to take action in January and to provide us with two players. We need a midfielder desperately, and we need an attacking player like a left wing back or maybe a Semenyo who can play left wing back and also fill in the attacking ranks.
no, but this is the thing, right, Rishi? It's like I don't want to make this a political conversation, but you know how sometimes there's people on the left who come at you for not being liberal enough, and there's people on the right who come at you for not being conservative enough, instead of looking at the other problems that are around. And that's kind of what I feel about the Mbumo situation, right? Like it's not enough that he carried us through October and won
Yeah,
the thing. It's that he needs some help, man, from other players. He's allowed to have a stretch
absolutely.
of 2 or 3 games when
Yeah.
you're looking at him and saying, listen, desperately needs some help on the team. And I'm seeing a lot of people coming out saying Sachin says 12 wins and 40 is not good enough, 30% win record. I mean, boys, I don't know why people can't get it through their heads that the quality of the squad is a big problem, right? And I want to hear from Nelson actually today because he was saying this is a top 4 squad. I want to see where the squad depth is that you're seeing because I'm sure
I mean,
if you're saying this is a
Andy,
top
I
four
can't.
squad, then this is yeah,
Dorgu was terrible on the ball in the I think in the second minute of stoppage time there was an opportunity for him to cross. He sent it. I don't know where the hell he sent it. He sent it into the media zone, I think.
yeah,
And the thing is, I can't even blame the guy. He's 21. He came from bloody Lecce,
yeah,
right? He wasn't the player we should have signed. We should have signed someone who was better on the ball.
yeah.
So I don't even
And we
know
and we
who to.
and we talked about it as well, right? We talked about this. Shant is here, Shaylin's here. Nelson, I'll bring you in a second. Rishi's going to be leaving us quickly, but I, for me, we talked about it on Stat Patters. We chose to get 7 or 8 million for Alvaro Carreras, and we decided to go spend 30 million euros on Dorgu instead. Right. So at the end of the day, we would have actually saved 5 million if we just kept that guy instead of signing Dorgu. So for me, like, listen, we can have the potential argument any day in terms of Dorgu, but we don't need 2 to 3 seasons from now. We need right now. Right? We need this AMORIM project to go from phase to phase in a way that doesn't get him sacked. And that is the problem that I'm seeing, and that's where I absolutely agree with what Rishi's saying. Shaylin, how you doing?
I wish I could have said 6 from 6. Yeah, I'll be all right.
Yeah, because Shant and Shay, the bottom half of this is bottom half versus top half of this panel right now, because you guys both predicted 12 points. But hey man, listen, I'm not. I don't know if I look happy because I've been I've been live for like 4 or 5 hours. I would much rather we score some goals and win the game. But looks like our prediction of 7 points is pretty like bang on right now. From these 5 games. Sean.
No, because Andy, that means that we're still gonna lose one. We got 2 games to go. We're gonna lose one of them if we have to be right. I don't want to do that. But this is what looks likely. And don't forget, in 3 days time, today is the 5th in India. On the 9th, I think we play Wolves. So that's again in 4 days, less than 4 days. And we are going to be tired as hell, man. We're going to start the same team again. I don't think
we
we start
already
Duarte.
played. We already played. Didn't we play Casemiro Bruno another 90 minutes?
Yeah.
We did. Yeah.
We got Tokyo Musing saying, how many times did Cunha and Bumo make runs that were ignored by Dallo, Dorgu, Casemiro? Bro, this is a great point. Rishi was saying this in the first half too. How many of our second, third runs were just ignored by the people that were on the ball, right? And we had so much time and space on the ball. That's the thing that frustrates me, because this was pretty much as low intensity as it gets from a West Ham perspective. They were just preserving energy, parking the bus, and trying to like not concede. That was their only goal from this game. And we had so much time and space, and we couldn't really do anything. So it just really tells you like where our squad depth is. Sean, before I lose all my words, bro.
No.
Bring us home. What's going on?
So obviously my prediction is out the window, but I don't, being right or wrong in terms of a predictive sense, just again, we have data points in front of us. There's a good adage: when someone tells you who they are and shows you, believe them. The squad has shown that they don't have the minerals to really capture a lot of points on the board when the pressure is on them. I think in terms of like a coaching perspective, I don't really have too many issues with how the game was coached. From a playing perspective, I don't really have an issue with how the game was played. When the players are put in the pitch to do certain things, and you can tell the mentality of the players was, okay, substitutions are coming in, we're shoring up shop, we're losing our central point of attack, and we're having to shift players from different positions in. I mean, we had Heaven get out in the first, it was after the first half he was made with the substitution. You get to a point where you're chopping and changing so many things. We don't have a plan A that we're going to. We're already on plan B, and plan B is turned into plan C and D. And I get it, management has to have some type of responsibility for putting the players in those positions. But when I'm reading comments like, this is unacceptable, the manager has a dribbler in Manu and he's not getting in the pitch. What is Manu doing against that team? What is he doing in that setup? It was the system was creating chances. The players did not make the most of it. Bruno had 2 opportunities where if he's firing, the ball's on target and probably gets a goal or a brace. So Bruno missed that. Cunha was pretty off today, but that's to be understood with his, his reintegration after the head knock. It's more indicative of the squad. This is what this squad is. And if we expect them to perform and get into that top 4, like, we're just going to have more backup and more depth. So I'm I'm disappointed with how we got to this point. Not
Sean,
with the
can I
players
just
or the
also
management.
point out, based on where the squad depth is at, we seems like we have significantly overperformed in the absence of Sheshko.
Yep.
Because literally a third of the purse that's been spent in the summer has been missing for several games. 2/3 of it has been missing in many other games because Cunha has also not been available. And now the second we have Mbumo not playing through the skin of his teeth to literally be, it's either he is Premier League Player of the Month or we don't win 3 games in a row. That's what it seems like.
We're falling under the mentality of we're getting ourselves to be grateful to get a goal out of all the shots that we make, instead of looking at things like a predator, looking at seeing blood, seeing some type of like opportunity to pile on the pressure. And that's a mentality thing. This all boils down to this team has skeletons of how they performed in previous seasons that it's hard to shake off. Ahmad, when he got that yellow card on Diouf, I said, okay, let's do this. Let's try to get him sent off. Ref had a fucking blinder today. I had to say that.
Yeah.
Just, that was just.
Yeah.
My only solace is I don't know if we get a goal from this game from last year's mentality. So I do like the fact that we picked up a point. I do like the fact that our heads aren't so low. But as much as I'm an AMORIM defender, the only thing I'm going to
Yeah,
be
Sean, your volume is a little low compared to
Oh,
before.
is it
I don't know
really?
if it's your gain.
Sorry.
Maybe the mic
I
closer to your face.
I reduced it a little bit. Let me just gain it a little bit. You guys let me know if this is any better. Testing, 1,
Yeah,
2, 3.
That's much
All right,
better.
cool.
Much better.
Perfect.
So anyways, so the only thing that I will be critical on, because in terms of the in-game management, I felt it was okay, but a lot of the critiques that the manager had individually towards the players seemed like it played out on the pitch. I think kind of calling into question Lenny Yoro's, everyone can see it. I had made the call 2 weeks ago that Yoro hasn't been playing well, and then AMORIM admits it in the presser, and then he starts attributing extenuating factors during that. That's one thing for a fan to call it out. It's another thing when your manager does it in public. Same thing with Dorgu, same thing with Cunha. All 3 players who really played like, Yoro was okay, but Dorgu really, I mean, he was low on belief. They played like they were anxious. Cunha, just not sharp enough. And then Bumo, I mean, this isn't Brentford. The point expectations are a lot higher. I need to see him positionally more disciplined, even though I understand that with the substitutions, there was a little bit of...
It was also his touches, so many poor touches today from Mbumo.
It seems as though
And
he was
it's
thinking
almost
ahead,
like,
and the ball was still there.
Yeah.
And that happened. We saw that with Lamans too. I saw in the pregame, he was talking to Gary Neville. Everything was smiling. He says, I'm just going to be calm, not too high, not too low. I love the weather. The rain is great. He ends up on his ass 3 times when he's about 40, 50 yards out from goal. So for me, saying the things and then feeling it and doing it are 2 separate things. And then when you are like, these are points that need to be gained. We can't just turn up against the top teams. We need to take advantage of this. So I mean, that's where I'm currently at. I'm frustrated. I'm annoyed. I'm not disappointed though, because I know the extenuating factors that got us to this point.
Yeah, you know what the frustrating thing is, Sean, for me is if we win that game, we are 5th, 1 point ahead of Palace. The issue I have this season with this team is that anytime we have the opportunity to get ahead of where we are expected to be so that we bank one to make a mistake later,
And we've been that team for the last
we never
6
do
years.
that. No, but specific, because I don't want to talk about the last 6 years, right? Because I'm invested in this season, and what AMORIM's doing now, because we do have a better squad than we did last year, right? I think we can all agree with that, and there's enough in this team to go get the 3 points in this game. But then all of these factors come in, and the thing that pisses me off even more, and I want to get Shaylin's thought as well. I know we've been kind of going on here, but The disappointing thing for me is Heaven gets his first start today, and I know he got the yellow card, but he was impressive.
Yep.
For me, he showed me something in terms of the future where we can actually get something done in that position, and he could actually play there. Because I think we were all thinking left center back for Heaven, right? Only left center back. He showed me something in center back, showed me some strength, showed me against Callum Wilson a few things. But he can't walk away from this game with the positivity he would have had we won the game.
No.
Right? Even Euro, I thought came in the second half. I wasn't sitting there being like, oh, Euro made a mistake.
Yeah.
Right? Because it seemed like he kind of did his job. There were mistakes in other parts of the year. Even Mazraoui, bro. People were going on about Mazraoui in the first half, how good he's been, and how much he's adding to our team and the patterns of play and all that. But none of that matters unless you get the ball into the back of the net, and that's why the whole team suffers from it. And what does this do to our confidence going forward, right? Shaylin, your thoughts?
No, I think this. I mentioned it before, right? The team has a certain mental fragility to it, and maybe this is the wave of where we're just going to be on a downturn with that. So much of it probably is reliant on how the fan base feels about the team, because I'll be honest, right? Like in September, realistically, the output from Cunha wasn't really there, right? But I mean, he wasn't, not from the sense of like he was performing poorly, like just from like the goals and assists.
It's fair to say that from what we expected Cunha's output was, he didn't deliver on that in terms of a real output. From a performance perspective, you're totally right.
Well, it's 2 games, right? He had 2 games against Liverpool and Brighton that he was good in terms of the off the ball stuff. And I didn't even care if he didn't score against Brighton because his performance in that game was good. But yeah, go on,
but
Shaylin.
How much did that buy them? Like from the fan base, like how much time, space did it like get to him? And now you see, Lenny Yoro, for example, a couple of different, or bad performances that have been rightfully so called out. But last season, people are just like, guys, this is like the next Rafael Varane. This is like the next, the thing. Like we just got him before he went to Madrid type, right? And then this is what we were saying. And today, we're just like, it wasn't that great. So I feel like that the mental fragility that the team has is so dependent on just the noise surrounding some of these individual players. It's like, Mbeumo hasn't really done much in November.
Yep.
And then now we're coming into December. When do you see people just the real sorry.
You're okay.
You're
okay now. You're okay. You're back.
Yeah, but I think that's the real challenge that we have to have, and maybe it's a conversation that it's just like, how is the manager actually handling this particular aspect of it? Because it's not like these players are suddenly just like poor or have turned bad like overnight, but how much attention is he allowing them to kind of keep onto what's the noise surrounding that versus what is the actual signal that they should be receiving and getting from the coaching staff, from the upper management as well, and also maybe the manager himself. And I don't think, in fairness, I don't think any manager has done a great job of that recently at United. But I definitely don't think AMORIM is doing the world's best job at least preventing them from Rishi.
Guys, Rishi's going to drop off. It's pretty late. We'll get some of the other panelists on. Just 1 second, Shaylin. Just hold that thought. We'll get in Andrew. We'll get Nelson. We'll get Vinny as well. What's going on, lads?
We are a dejected bunch. I just look at everyone.
Yeah.
I see Andrew like this, Nelson like this, Vinny like this.
Yeah. Well, it's that type of day, man. First of all, I'm in Canada out here. It's 5 p.m.
Wait, hold on.
Dark,
One
dark
second.
AF.
Sorry. Unmute. Sorry, there we go.
Yeah.
Consider back on me.
Yeah, Nelson's feeling that as well. What's the temperature right now in St. Catharines, bro?
Let me actually check. It was cold. It's -7.
It's -9 for me here. But anyways, Andrew, thoughts on the game?
Right. It's the It's a game of missed chances, the best way to describe it. Can you hear me, by the way? I don't know
Yes.
if my
Yes.
thing's
Yes.
so obviously we all saw that insane the Xerxi nearly putting it in, then of course of all people Wan-Bissaka, and then Cunha goes for the overhead kick which nearly comes off, and then
the Bruno chance out.
And the Bruno, it would be ironic to score that against West Ham because obviously Di Canio, but then it's ridiculous in some senses, right? It's the classic issue of missed chances coming back to bite us. And then something that's kind of a little bit of a hangover from last season, where last season it was set pieces that were the undoing of everything United. This season we've been a lot better with it because our keeper is able to actually catch a ball. And it's almost as if he comes out to specifically catch the ball because it's the only thing that gives United fans hope. But there's a lot to dissect there. I mean, a couple of players played well, and that's going to get completely drowned out in both the AMORIM out talk alongside the everything's awful, everything's, again, it's a draw, right? We got a point from it in the worst sense of the word. We should have won, but all the same. Mazraoui played out his skin. In my opinion, he has to play that center back role to a degree. Like he's
right center back.
Heaven looked completely out of his depth. Like every time we had, like they had a player who had it with his back turned, no one in space for him to pass to. Heaven would grab him by the shoulders as if he was on a break. There was no need for that, especially when he was on yellow. And so Mazraoui has that position nailed down, in my opinion. You've got Ahmad, who was still playing out his skin as he does. But then you had on the opposite side, Xerxi actually played really well. Like we stopped playing essentially a 3-4-2-1 and started playing a 3-4-1-2. With Xerxi as this sole focusing thing, whereas Cunha and Mbeumo were overlapping him. And Xerxi is legitimately really, really good with his link-up play. But it wasn't enough. Like for simple things like a set pieces, why was no one on the back post? I noticed we were trying to cross. We were trying to cut out.
Well, Mazraoui was on the back post. He already saved it, and then he has to be the goalie inside the net. I don't know.
But this is the problem. We had 6 men at the front post. I understand you want to try and stop it from getting to the danger zone, but even then, one person who was able to, at least after noticing the flight of the ball, there was enough time, turn around and get your man. There was enough time for someone
Let me just address a comment here. Abbas says the standard of this club is in the gutter. We're a mid-table club now. Bro, when were we not? When's the last time we weren't a mid-table club? Help me understand this, because it's been a while. Yeah, Mourinho's second season, but that was massive overperformance on our
end. Wait, under Oli, what are we talking about?
Oli.
Yeah, under Oli, we were clearly a top
10
top
hard.
3
I mean,
side.
10 hard.
Yeah,
10
10
hard.
hard.
Yeah, I mean, I was.
Okay, 10 hard. How many years has it been?
It's-
How many years
it's-
has it been?
It's not.
Two.
Okay.
It was 22, 23, bro.
We've been
It
a
was Ten Hag's
consistent
first
top-table
season.
club.
Ten
So
Hag's
here-
first season,
here-
we finished third.
The
And
issue
even
herein
that was
is
very defensive.
So points dropped is an opportunity for anybody to just encourage whatever long-standing belief they have. We're not going to. We're not going to convert people into 14 game weeks into the season when there's a delta of 4 points between 5th and 14th to say, hey, look at where we are. Look at where we're this. To me, standing doesn't matter. I'm talking about expected points, what it's going to take to get to the end of the season, and I'm disappointed that we didn't pick up the points against West Ham. We're making up for those against the top teams, but at the end of the day, you have to get the expected points out to a certain level so that you can say reliably, this is where we are.
That's the actual level, not just us overperforming or underperforming.
Exactly. So
Sean,
Nelson's
got his pencil out. Yeah. Nelson's got his pencil out, so I just want to let him go before something happens.
He needs to release it.
No.
Of nods when I was talking. So
I'm actually shocked that you guys are like a lot of people seem to be upset. I think we played fairly well. My biggest issue with AMORIM was prior to this, I didn't feel like we were playing well. I actually thought we were playing poorly, getting results. Yeah. This game we played well, and the reason why people are upset is because we did play well in parts of this game. We just didn't finish our chances.
Yeah. Yeah.
And coming from me, who's usually the negative one, I'm actually finding it really interesting that people are kind of losing their minds. Vinny, by the
Well,
way,
it's more so the chat. It's more so
Yeah.
the chat losing their minds, but we haven't heard from Vinny yet.
but Vinny's Tottenham jersey or zipper.
Oh, yeah.
Killing me.
Seeing that,
I just saw it.
brother.
Apologies,
saw it.
guys. Apologies for that,
It's
man.
with side Zakwo.
But my question is, why
Apologies.
Tottenham? If
Why
you're gonna
Tottenham?
switch?
Yeah.
I got it as a gift. I couldn't refuse it.
Someone
fair
hates you, bro.
Yeah, because you're putting on
Someone
what we
hates
played
you.
like today, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
I just before Vinny, before you jump on, I actually thought, as what Andrew said, which Xerxi was holding up the play so well, and it's something that I noticed the moment we removed him, we lost all of our attacking third, like hold up.
And
Just
Bumo looked
immediately.
lost in the middle.
Completely.
And Bumo looked lost.
Yeah, he didn't know what to do. So that's actually my shout, by the way. Like, I actually thought Xerxi was our low-key best player in that game.
I think
But-
Cunha didn't look bad in the middle either. Did you, Nelson? Like,
No, I thought he was excellent.
right?
Excellent. Yeah,
so
yeah,
I mean,
both
so
of them.
I think part of the issue is like I don't want to like dominate this idea, but how many times are we switching up our back line? How many times are we switching
Yeah,
up our
that's
front
annoying.
five? I'm
Yeah.
very annoyed at the fact that, you know, back in Sporting, players had very defined roles, and then they kind of deviated in certain ways, but they still had some type of structural integrity to how they played.
Sean, do you
We-
think that that's sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
I was saying, do you think that that's the switching is more AMORIM trying to understand the players in this iteration of his system and where it is that they're playing rather than just us not having the correct depth?
No, because the personnel being put into different positions to me is desperation.
Yeah.
So when you pick the personnel, you have a general idea of where they're going to play, especially with regards to AMORIM loves to have players not deviate horizontally. They're vertically meant to, maybe the only differences are the 10s and the wingbacks with some inversion, and really that's it. They just kind of come in, they switch, they move, they push forward, and they have the center backs either go into the midfield to help, or they're both attacking any type of duels in the middle of the pitch. Okay, the tilt of the game in the beginning of the game, West Ham were just piling it on us. Then, when everyone noticed that we played a little bit better, was because we had more possession of the ball and we were dictating how we wanted the game to be played. So when that was going well, and then you get Heaven out because you're worried that his inexperience is going to cause another yellow, that's when the beginning of the fucking cards began to fall. And that's when that's the only annoyance I have with the game. I thought we played well in the first half, and going into the second, we did play pretty well. But then there's so many opportunities. for it to
Isn't there a
fall
bit of irony that in this squad of like heavily like counterattacking players that like we have, even though we can play well in like high possessions, we just can't win. For whatever reason, we just can't break the team down. For whatever reason, we just can't and I don't see anybody on that bench. Like Andy, you made a point earlier. What is Manu going to do on that team? He's not a pinger. Like you can't just dribble your way through this West Ham block, right? That was there. So
They were so deep, man. They were so deep. And also, I don't want to make this about the ref, but the ref was
This ref
killing
was
the momentum of the
awful.
game.
that was the worst ref I've
He
ever
was
seen.
killing the momentum
Both
of the game.
sides,
I
he was
don't
not
care.
good.
Yeah, exactly. Both sides. It's not about. He was just not allowing the game. Like when you make Anthony Taylor look like a good referee, then you know you're doing something bad, right? At least that guy lets the game go, and
There
that's
should have been
that's my
two red
problem.
cards this game. Like genuinely.
Yeah, there were
Yeah.
two red cards.
Yeah, there were
Wan
two red
Bissaka
cards.
was a straight
Wan
red,
Bissaka-
bro.
Straight red.
It was a
And then,
straight red.
What's the other guy?
Two-footer from the back, bro.
This is the most annoying ref I've ever. I hate talking about refs. This ref was
No,
one.
yeah.
Yeah,
There was
And
the
the ref
goal
didn't
score
lose
should have
us
been
the
off as
game,
well.
You know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Magasa should have been off.
Magasa, yeah, Magasa.
But then-
It was a
and then
should
by
have
the
a
way-
second yellow.
Mhm.
In the game when he had his radio malfunction, was there any extra time at 45? Like
No, wait. The best part is when was it Magasa went down again and
Yes.
Clent, he actually said we're adding time, and
and
immediately
then blew it
and then
right
blew
at the
them.
45. Yeah, no, this is so it was literally as if
Horrible.
you pluck somebody from the chat and say, "Hey, do your best impersonation of a ref." That's what it looked like. Just it was so bizarre. But that wasn't the reason why we conceded the goal. It wasn't.
No, it's not about the conceding though.
Yeah.
But Sean, I'll tell you what. In the first half, what did we see? Everyone here agrees. First 20 minutes, we struggled to get the ball into the final third. Right, the ball kept breaking down in the defensive third and the middle third, and it wasn't getting into the final third.
Yep.
I want it, when I go watch the game back. I'm sorry, guys, I'm not doing it today. Not after that performance.
No.
But eventually, when I go watch it back, I will count how many fouls the ref gave in the first 20 minutes and what impact that had on the momentum of the game. Because when you're trying to build something, either team, right? And we know if someone was going to build momentum, it's going to be United. We're at home. West Ham is 19th for expected points, 17th before they played this game. And in that situation, we're the team that's going to build something. So you keep calling fouls when you can just let it go for both teams, and it kills the momentum. And I that was a horrible performance from the referee.
But can we? And I know Vinny hasn't spoken yet, and I want Vinny to speak.
Let's hear from Vinny.
Let's actually hear from Vinny first, and then we'll continue. Yeah.
Guys, I'm so disappointed, man. So disappointed. Like,
so sad he's wearing a Tottenham shirt.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of expected it, right? But I still, I'm still disappointed after that because the game was there to be taken, and I knew that this was how the game was gonna pan out, right? And you guys have all actually, hit the nail right on the head. But one thing that we are also, failing to mention is that one thing we are failing to mention is that the lack of competition within the squad is hurting us.
Yeah.
The lack of competition is hurting the squad, and it seems some players within the team are too comfortable within their positions and know that they are always going to be the ones who are going to play. And it seems it's been
name names, Vinny.
Yeah,
name
give me a name.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
like Luke Shaw back in the day.
No, not Luke Shaw.
What?
Not Luke Shaw. I would say
No,
Mbumo,
back before we got
Mbumo,
left back.
Mbumo
Mbumo.
was shocking today, man.
No, it's a good shot. It's a good shot. He's
Mbumo was shocking
anything
today.
he did for
And
the
I
first
think
2 months was
complacency,
great
though.
because there
I
wasn't
think
else.
someone rightly
Yeah.
said it. Someone rightly said it. Actually, that we are not at Brentford, guys. This is Man United. Even though we are mid-table team now, we always expect you to perform, man. How could you not actually play that 2v2 out with Cunha?
Yeah.
Cunha 2 has been very shocking, very appalling. And guys, we keep on glamoring of some of the supporters keep on, chanting for Bruno in the 10. Bruno can never play in the 10.
Not in this.
Not this time.
Not
with
in
this
this
setup.
system.
Not in this
Yeah,
setup.
exactly.
Not in this
Not
setup,
in
no.
this system. He doesn't have the quality, man. Once again, we have to leave the coach for the coach to actually do whatever he sees at the training, because he wants to win much more better than we all expect, United to win. He wants the best for the team. So we should stop this Menu brigade and Bruno at the 10 brigade. I know some YouTube channels are really going to go on this because, of course, this is where
Mark Goldbridge is live right now, guys. He's
FC.
telling Bruno's the reason. He's saying
Exactly.
Bruno in the midfield is why we lost that game. And I'm sorry.
I didn't even think Bruno had a bad game. I thought
No.
he was
He
pretty
had a
damn
very good game.
No, he
We drew
actually
the
had a
game.
decent game.
And
Bring
I
it back,
also really agree with Nelson, right? This has been one of our best games, guys.
Yeah, which is shocking. It
Right?
actually is. If you look at, I hate being an XG merchant, as Andy is, because I did one. And when you look at our XG, we had high XG this double West
Guys,
Ham.
take a good look at Nelson, because it's the last time he's coming on the show. No,
but like,
well, hold on. You're
no,
talking
okay.
XG merchant. I got something for you, because I was actually looking at the same thing or something similar. All the AMORIM outers, you explained to me how we are 5th in the XG table right now.
Yeah.
Right? We are actually the team, the players are not able to keep up with 2 games a week.
Yeah.
We played our midfielders. Explain to me how a tired Bruno and a dead Casemiro is going to play another 90 minutes against Wolves. on Monday. Someone explained that to me, and then we're gonna go into that game again saying a lot of the same things. Like, this is a crap team. They haven't won a single game, and watch us have a bad game against them. Because listen, for my prediction of 7 points to come true, we have to lose one of the next 2 games.
Yep.
And
10
Bournemouth,
is
there's
incoming.
and Bournemouth is 7 days away after Wolves, so it's more likely that we're actually fresh for Bournemouth than we are for Wolves.
I
so-
don't fear Wolves, to be honest. I think Bournemouth are the team.
Were you
They've
feeding
been-
West Ham though?
Bournemouth are a really good team.
No, I said watch. You saw, go back to the chat. I said this screams 1-1. It
Yeah.
literally, even
You
though
did
as
say
much as
that.
I
I saw
as much
that.
as I thought this game was supposed to be a winning game, it just
Yeah.
screams 1-1. Because okay, there is something that we have to call AMORIM for. Every single defense, every single player he brought in the second half was a defensive player.
Yeah.
And to me, that issue was he immediately noticed once he brought in Dorgu that our impetus started dying. And he went, oh crap, I need to bring in players who'll fill up the holes. And that actually empowered Nuno, because Nuno made
But did
2
you,
changes
Nelson?
and they
Did you
scored.
also notice the body language from Dalot after he scored?
No, I didn't notice that. No.
He thought he was.
I was running around.
He thought he has finished. He thought he has finished.
I think he got
Ah.
hooked. I think he got hooked maybe 5 minutes after that.
10
That
minutes.
was 10 minutes
10.
after that. Okay.
10 minutes after scoring.
But I mean,
The guy thought he had finished. He thought, I've done everything that I could have done for United. Like. So
He completed
I
it,
don't
mate.
doubt you.
I kind of agreed to the
Mhm.
substitution, only that the player who came on. Let me
I'm
zip
just
it.
looking at the subs here, right? This is a good point. So 46th minute, Lenny Euro for Heaven.
Yeah.
I think I agree with Shant in the sense that it was kind of the beginning of the end in terms of how
Yeah.
things played out.
Mhm.
But I also didn't. That was the least impactful in a negative sense on
Correct.
us.
Yeah.
I liked him as center back. If I'm being
He was
completely
good.
honest.
Yeah, he was good.
especially as a cover player. Because what we see
Ooh.
Delic do so many times in the box, where he's that final man and just like sweeps, not sweeps, but he like
Yeah.
Is it
runs and
heaven?
gets those
Is it
last
heven we're talking about?
the
No,
Euro for
Euro.
heaven.
No,
Oh,
we're
so
just
right.
Euro for
Okay.
Heaven sub. The second, then in the 77th and 78th minute, we took off Cunha and Xerxi and brought on Ugarte and Mount.
Yeah.
I think that's what killed us,
Yeah.
Yeah.
in my opinion, because Dorgu happened on the 68th minute,
Mhm.
but in the first sort of 7-8 minutes of that Dorgu being on the pitch, it wasn't looking as bad because we don't. Again, I seem to be alone on the Xerxi train, and a lot of people have jumped on it since
Xerxi
the
had a
last
great
2
game.
games. No, I'm saying like 2 games ago against Everton.
Yeah,
I was pretty early on saying that I can see what he's trying to do, and now more people have jumped on it, and it seems to be that even we're underestimating the impact of Xerxi, because he was so silky on the ball today.
Yeah.
He's got that
Mhm.
soft touch, and that was making a big difference. Like there was a sequence, I made a note of it. Let me see. There was a sequence in the 10th minute where he picked up the ball near our own box, connected it in midfield, and then also connected it on the left wing.
Yeah.
Right? That was the type of stuff that's why I was saying, is he looking better than Sheshko in some aspects? And I think the
Yes.
link up, the build up,
And
I think he is better
If there's
than
a
him.
clip to use, did you see the pausa that he had in the midfield? That was to me where I said
The what?
okay.
Sorry?
The pausa when he did the hesitation and then
Oh, yeah.
just that was like okay, that's something that Sheshko doesn't bring right now. Okay, but regardless of that,
Mhm.
and Nelson, I'll let you go right after this.
Yeah.
I think this is the thing that frustrated me.
Mhm.
So Dorgo comes on 68th minute. What we were clamoring for in the past season, and then going into the beginning of this season, especially preseason, was a left wing back that could extend the game and then attack that final third.
Yeah.
It seemed to me that kind of like what we were all praising Dorgo for was like, you're a defensive monster. You could shore up the back. It felt as though Dorgu had been told, keep it safe. Just
Yes.
don't fuck up.
That's
And
and
that
that's
to
what I
me,
think.
so that's where I say, okay, you know what? This is still a team that is afraid to lose the game, not a team that wants to kill the game. So, but it's a catch-22. AMORIM puts on these players, people are and holds out, then people are going to say, you know what? Good game management. We got out of there with what we wanted. We played well, but you know what? Didn't get the goals going, so we were this. So then
But
when Amarin does play
Sean, can I
protectionist,
just say
disagree.
can I just say on your point? Hold on, Andrew, just
Mm.
1 second. On Sean's point, I think we've gone from a team that was scared to lose and lost badly to a
Mhm.
team that is scared to lose and is coming away with draws.
Yep.
Because you think about the 3 points we got from the 3 draws in recent memory, which is against Forest, Tottenham, and today's game. In previous seasons, we lose those games. In fact, West Ham did the double on us last year, right? Tottenham did the double on us last year. Forest probably did the double. So I know that's me. Like you can call it copium, you can call it whatever you want. I'm trying to find the positives here, and that is one of the positives. That this same team with, let's say, Mbumo and a concussed Cunha is essentially doing something that we weren't doing last year. So I think that is something that we can't just scoff at. I know we all feel negative right after the game. And I appreciate Nelson coming in and being the positive one today. But he is right that in terms of patterns of play, this probably was our best performance. We said it in the second at halftime as well when Nelson was on. Go ahead, Andrew.
I was just going to say specifically in response to Sean's idea that, if he does make those substitutions and we end up seeing it out or anything of that sort, I disagree. The issue that is surrounding United so hard right now is agendas, and people are stuck in one of two mindsets in regards to what every single player and the manager. There's people who are, like we're seeing even in the chat, Amorim in, Amorim out, or what I like to think that the people here are, or of whichever suits the club best for as long as it actually matters.
Yeah.
Because there's been situations where a substitution's gone on, things have been fine. It's then on the players, right? The agenda comes first no matter what. You've got to keep your agenda. I'm a One Piece fan, agenda piece all the way.
Yeah.
But you've got like I say, people will say it's the players if they do well, and if they do badly, it's then Amorim.
He's the manager. Yeah.
So it no matter what, it's a catch-22.
Yep.
And this is why the most important thing, in my opinion, about all of this is that Ratcliffe openly said he has 3 years, so no one can do the whole we need him out, because the constant resetting is what's killed this club. It's why we have players from the Ollie era, from the Ten Hag era, even some from the Mourinho era still kicking out and around. Shaw he's not even Mourinho.
Shaw is
Van
Van
Gaal.
Gaal.
It's Van Gaal.
Louis van Gaal.
Like, it's a complete Frankenstein's monster of a squad, and all of the best players from those eras are gone. Like, so
Andrew,
result
can
with
I
it,
just
it's
say you made a good point about Ratcliffe coming out and giving the backing.
Yep.
But that's only, I would say, 20% of the game. The 80% is actually supporting him in the transfer window.
Yeah.
Right, because words can only do so
Agreed.
much. At the end of the day, if Amorim does get sacked, or as someone in the chat will say, when Amorim gets sacked, it's going to be framed as a coaching failure, right?
Yeah.
As a coaching failure. They're not going to sit there and say, listen, we held our hands up and we weren't good enough. We didn't give him the right tools. Actually, he was the right guy, but we screwed up, right? It's always going to be somebody else's fault.
It's never going to be that way, but everyone who has any sense can understand last season is completely discounted because of the fact that the only reinforcement he got was Dorgu in the January transfer window, a 20-year-old left wing back, when his entire system is reliant on the wing backs, when Ahmad wasn't even available at that time. And then we're entirely reliant on someone who's 20, not even good enough. Someone was talking to me today ago about Alvaro Carreras. We should have got him in. Agreed. But there is no backing for Amorim. And this is why specifically 3 years was at least what he deserves from Ratcliffe in that regard, because he's not been getting backed, except for last season for the attack.
I think the issue is people are so scarred by the previous sporting direction with Glazer, Woodward. People were spoiled with that transfer philosophy. But what I see now is, and it's good on you to say, hey, people come in with agendas, people come out. From everything I'm saying, it sounds like I'm very defensive of Amorim and protectionist. But the first thing I said,
I believe you care for the club.
No, but I'm not saying you specifically. But I'm saying it's like, but just like anything, like if you're in a relationship or if you're dealing with somebody in management, honestly, you can support people, you can give them the platform to develop, but you also have to judge exactly what you see in front of you, because at the end of the day, if you have a bottom line you have to meet, which is this club based on where we're currently at and where we should be, what the size of our club is, there's a gap. So what is going to close that gap? Is it going to be one extra substitution here with a squad that's dilapidated and saying we need to just tweak this type of game state and then that wins us the game? Or is it to make sure that the recruitment is supportive of the manager that you see for at least 3 years? That I would say Ineos let him down in that January window, regardless of there's all these financial modelings and everything that says we need to make all these cuts, which, hey, if you guys watch Stat Patters, like, it seems like if need be, we could spend, okay? But now this is time for Ineos to show, are they really going to support the manager, or are the people up top no better than people in the chat that are all capsing saying, AMORIM out, how are you going to lose to West Ham? So I think I want to give them a little bit more credit that everything here is a venting thing. We're all here. We want them to win every single game. But like Nelson says, somebody's going to accuse Nelson of being negative. Look at what the fuck he comes in with. He says, what are you guys talking about? We actually played well. And I'm the one here saying I'm annoyed, frustrated. But it's like, you know what? That's why a good community that knows how to rationalize their takes are going to come in and say, you know what? In hindsight, that Mbumo chance, that could have been a pen. Cunha could have gotten that. Bruno couldn't have gotten that. How many times did we get in the final third? It was just, we underperformed a little bit. That's
Sean,
this is the direct problem.
One second. One second, Andrew. I think what fans fail to realize sometimes, especially when your club gets enveloped in this negativity for years and years and years, especially when, relatively speaking, I think we've been the club that's underperformed compared to expectations for the stature of the club more than any other club in the Premier League, right? When you get when you're stewing in this, negativity, I feel like it's impossible to think that other teams can have games like this where they actually come away with the win and their fans are just okay with it, right? Like we like to pretend as if Liverpool doesn't have games where they play crap and they win the game. Like even last year, forget about this year.
They win games.
This year we know they're all crap. No, this year they're all crap. But even last year, right? They won the title, and we like to pretend like they don't win close games. Even City's the 100-point game, the 100-point game that City had, they went on like a 12-13 game win streak, and so many of them were close games that Raheem Sterling won them the game, right? So we can't sit here and we're essentially gaslighting each other. We're gaslighting the players. We're gaslighting AMORIM. It's like nothing is good enough, right? We can't come away with the draw in a game and say the squad is the issue, this is the issue, that is the issue. Because even for us, right? Even amongst this panel, even those of you guys that are watching, we are upset with the players more than AMORIM today, but we're not saying sell the players. We're just highlighting what the issues are. And why can't that just be the conversation? Why does it have to be AMORIM out? Because the next guy's going to be here and you're going to be that guy out too. Like you see Rance and Bance, the next manager that gets announced on the press conference, he's going to be like a manager out. Right?
I can imagine the intro. Yo, what we saying?
Guys, I want to also.
I mean, to be fair, got to put your bets on early.
It seems we as Man United fans are also living under a certain illusion that Man United needs to belong up there. Of course, per the stature of the club, we need to be up there, but not according to our current state.
But Vinny,
I think we did. Yes, I knew that you were going to come in.
Yeah, sorry.
We did this the last time by comparing the squad with the current top 4 teams, right? Which we all agree that we should be outside the first top 3. Right. So if we have these kind of matches, of course, for me it's a reality check. It's actually onto the owners, Ineos, for them to actually go and help the manager spend, create competition for the squad. Let's not promise players, positions, right? Create competition. Let everybody who actually steps on the pitch know that if I do not perform today, I will be out on the bench.
But go on, sorry.
No. I was just wondering, is this an expectation management problem that you're saying? Because if you had asked me in the beginning of the season, I'd be like, yeah, we're probably finishing like 6th or 7th. We are on par for that. Right? Like,
Kick
hate
him
myself.
out. Kick him out. Kick the Nah.
I still don't know what that thing means, but okay.
Brother,
No one
mean
knows
it.
what it means.
brother,
There's no
it was
meaning.
not.
I
okay, like,
hate that I know
Oh,
what it
what's
means.
that Kanye and Jay-Z song? No one knows what it means. It's provocative.
Provocative.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't mean to do that, Andrew. Like, thanks for.
Blame LaMelo Ball. Another thing
Oh
the
my
the
God.
Ball brothers have added to the world.
Oh boy.
But-
Yeah.
Sorry, no. I just think I thought Vinny, you were making a good point, but is it on expectation management that you're
Yeah,
suggesting?
I think so. I think it's an expectation management, man. And Andy will also, bear to this that when he mentioned that we were going to at least have 7 points in the next series of matches, people started unsubscribing, right? So we have to manage our expectations, guys. We are not there yet. This is a team in transition.
Yeah.
This is also like an issue that is going to be the problem, though. We've been in transition for so long, right? Because people are
Can I
comparing
disagree with
United
that?
to Chelsea. Go for it.
So this idea that we've been in transition for so long, like, I don't like it. I think we've been in transition when Ineos came in.
Yes,
and
exactly.
they decided
that.
to
I was
appoint
gonna say the
Emery.
same
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like prior
We-
to that, yeah, we hired like new managers, but we never really committed to.
But don't you think the backing that Ten Hag got kind of felt like they were trying to do a transitional thing?
See,
Because
this
I
is-
honestly
This
think
is where I think this
No,
is like,
but-
you come in as new owners and you have to spend.
yeah,
And, like,
but
that's
here's,
just this.
but here's my
Guys,
point.
guys,
think-
can I
yeah.
just say something, Nelson? You can react to this.
Mhm.
I think the transitions we were trying before Ineos came in were like getting a 12-month gym membership in January. Right, and then not following through on it. Whereas now it seems like we're committing to a lifestyle change, and we're still in January. We
Yep.
still have 11 months to
Yep.
go or let's just say 5 months to go to get that summer body or whatever we're trying to get. Right?
You know why I
So-
disagree with that? Because
Why?
the amount of money Ten Hag got
Yeah.
was the most I've ever seen any manager get.
But
He
you
finished-
know,
that was the problem. They
Nelson,
put it into
you
his
know the
contract
difference?
that he
Here's
could
the
do whatever he
difference.
wanted.
Here's
Correct.
the difference.
Disagree.
Here's the difference. You and your wife have the same purse to go to the supermarket,
How'd you know?
and yeah, no, but
Wait, what's this
what
about
happens
Nelson and purses?
yeah, no, like transfer kitty. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Or like,
okay, gotcha. Yeah.
So you go to the supermarket, you go there, and Nelson, I think you're a man of good taste, whatever. But I assume that your wife is. I assume that your wife is going to be a much better person shopping at the market, right?
100%.
So no matter what the spend is, you can have. This reminds me of the South Park episode where they were talking about how Family Guy comes and creates their episodes. They have manatees swimming in a freaking incubation tank, and they have certain balls that they pick out of. And for United, those balls are: is he someone that's like a top 10 player in the world? Is he on a high wage? Is he going to get shirt sales? It was a team built by committee. Okay. You got the Casemiro and Ugarte both featured today. Casemiro, Ugarte shouldn't be in this team. Okay. Regardless, they just shouldn't. For the wages that they're at, they shouldn't be in this team. And what Ratcliffe said, and this is to Andrew's point, and this is whether or not we're going to see if he backs them, the highest earners and the highest wage team is going to perform the best over time. If you have a bunch of high wage earners, those are presumably going to be good players. If our highest wage earners are not performing well, then we have to have turnover. So
You know what I think will be
who's-
a really
who's
good
gonna do
litmus
that?
test, Sean?
Hmm.
In the summer, is Ugarte still at this club by the end of it?
Yes.
Because Berardi said, like, you have 2 seasons here to perform. He could obviously become the next Casemiro in the next couple months. Like, there's
Guys,
a
can we
world that
we
lives.
all just yell at Rishi to go to bed?
Yeah, Rishi,
please?
go to bed.
It's 4:30 in the
Yes,
morning.
What the hell, man? What
I
the
can't
hell?
freaking sleep after that. I'm just listening to everyone here, and I'm
United is
so
not
glad
worth
that
4 a.m.
we have sensible people here.
No.
Guys,
Wait,
I have
what?
a
You
theory
think I'm
because
sensible?
Insomnia.
yeah, don't be
insomnia,
so
guys,
offended,
insomnia.
Jalen.
Honestly, can I just be honest? I think Shaylin's made some fantastic points today, and I'm not just trying to butter him up or whatever, because you don't really come on the live streams very often. And I know Andrew, this is your second appearance as well. So both of you guys Shout out to you, man. Some good points all around.
Yeah.
But Shaylin was in the middle of something. Sorry, you were saying something.
No, I was just saying, I think that it'd be a good litmus test to what Sean was saying is like, and then what we've all been saying is like, how does Ineos back this manager? I don't think it's are they going to sign a bunch of players for him? I think it's, are they going to get the players that they need to get out? Like,
Can I
for
respond
him?
to that?
Sure, go ahead.
An issue inherently comes though in the one. So you can say how do you get a player out, but the main problem with that is how do you get a buyer? Because it's with someone like Ugarte, you now have a set problem where you have 70 million pounds worth of investment, and then directly you're going to sell him very clearly at a loss. I don't think anyone would buy him for 70 million at the current moment. And then what ends up happening is not only that, but his wages. It's like what's happened with Rashford recently, because ever since Rashford was given a new contract, he is on £300,000 a week, and so I believe the club even now is subsidising his wage. Right, the problem becomes how do we get rid of them?
So
the long
can I
contract.
interject on that? Because okay, and Rishi needs to speak because it's fucking 4:30, and I can't believe you're still on this live. But so the longer it is that a player's been at the club, whether it's been 1 year, 2 year, whatever, the cost of having that player on the book is amortized. Okay, so that type of cost, you can accept a quote unquote loss, but on the books, you can still be positive, therefore giving yourself, it's much better to get rid of an underperforming asset, regardless of what the initial price is. But over the course of the contract, if he's deemed, like Ineos is saying, within 2 years, you're out. If you don't show your worth, get out of here. So
Now, can I
more
interject
so,
that?
yeah, I was going to just one more thing before. More so, if the
Yeah.
wages that we've signed you on could be replaced by 1 or 2 players, regardless of whatever transfer costs it will take to get the next players, then you're messing up the wage structure. Did the 6-7 shit again? You're messing up the wage structure in order to just placate the idea that we paid this much for this guy, we have to have him in the squad. So it's just an estimation of where is he at right now. So go ahead, Nelson.
So I think one of the things we as fans do is we either decide a player is really good or really shit, and we don't seem to assess these players as what they are. Ugarte is an amazing player for another team, not us. And by that I mean, if you look at his defensive stats, his running stats, all the things that are about defensive, he's actually up there.
He's a player who's great when you don't have the ball, and that's not
Imagine if he played for West Ham today, he would cause us so much fucking
or Wolves.
or
He'd be a
Wolves.
problem.
One of those in a team that sets up in that
If you
type
look
of
at the numbers, Magasa is exactly that player that Ugarte is.
Exactly. And look how much he
that
caused
same
us.
player.
Look how much he caused us.
Also, why I'm
grief.
worried about
But the
Joao
thing
Gomez.
is, the thing is, they paid 20 million for Magasa. We paid 50 million for Ugarte. The problem is how much we've overpaid for these players. And if you really deep it, right, this summer is the only summer that we've actually started doing sensible business.
Yep.
Because no one can tell me that we've overpaid for any of the players that we've bought. For what they've been bought, at most we've overpaid by 5 or 10 million, and that also maybe for Sheshko you could argue that.
I
The
think
other players
Ugarte
like
overpaid by 10.
for a player like Ugarte, even with the United tax, we should have paid 40 million, and that is
Rishi,
a fair value.
Rishi, I would be even more generous. I think the Delict, Mazraoui, and Xerxi transfers, from a value perspective, are good value for money.
Yeah,
I don't have an issue with any of those guys.
Fair. I'm saying that a flawless transfer window, like even for this one, right? The last one, you could say that no matter how good Xerxi looks, he's a player that did not fit the profile of player that we needed. We needed someone like a better version of Rasmus, and we bought like someone who was in between a 10 and a 9, a 9.5, right?
Yeah.
So
he's
as an
Berbatov
overall
2.0
transfer
again
window-
at United.
Without the
Sorry?
finishing.
He's
Without
like
a
Berbatov
finishing,
again.
exactly.
He's a good player who will never finish
Please
assistant.
respect Berbatov. Please respect that.
Yeah,
man.
Berbatov
Please.
had finishing.
Berbatov had proved in the league at Tottenham, like and even after.
Also, we remember Berbatov in a relative sense to like Ronaldo, Rooney, Tevez,
Tevez.
right? At
Yeah.
that
Yes, but
time,
the,
so
the
we
style of
Yeah.
player and what's actually going to
I-
happen with
I
him.
know what
A
you're
good
saying.
player
Yeah,
will
yeah,
go as
yeah,
a very
yeah.
good
Yeah,
player.
let's not forget we're doing relative comparisons,
Yeah,
guys. I just want
0.5.
to, I just want to say something, right? There, I have a statement to make and then a question for the panel. I'm looking at the expected points table now, sorted by expected points, and 3rd to 9th is 3 points away from each other on
Yep.
expected points, so underlying stats, right?
Yep.
And the weird thing is, by the way, Brentford is 3rd on expected points, so they've been somehow much better by selling all these players. But I want to hear from you guys, because I'm sure this is a question that's going to be directed to me at some point, quite a bit. At what point do we just stop being an underlying team and actually start performing? Like, at what point is it we will be good, or we will be performing as expected and not underperforming? And Nelson,
Please
I know
let
you're
me answer
smiling,
this
but
question.
it's we have to
Please.
be honest. It is the
Yeah.
players that are not that are not finishing the chances and doing the job. The underlying table actually tells me more about the quality of the system and the manager than it does about the players themselves, right?
Yeah.
So Arsenal right now, top of the table, also first in expected points. Manchester City, second in the table, also second in expected points. After that, it kind of goes haywire because Brentford is 13th, but they're 3rd on expected points.
Yeah.
So for me, that's an indication like Brentford doesn't have that good a squad, and they're kind of underperforming what they should be doing. And so the same thing happens with United. We're 8th, but we should be 5th, right? When do you guys think we will actually kick into gear, or will this
Can,
just
Can
be
you
a
let me
we,
please
can we
answer this?
acknowledge?
Next
No,
Can you
Nelson
please-
first. Nelson wants to. No,
Can you
I wanna
please
hear
let me
Nelson.
answer this?
Yeah, I want to hear
Because
Nelson.
this is something I was going to put up in Discord, by the way, Andy. Whenever it comes to teams that dominate everything, expected
Mhm.
points and XG always matches. But whenever you look at teams like go watch the Syria or look at Syria stats,
Mhm.
every team that has leading in expected points XG never wins the league. Not one. There's only 2 seasons where Inter won and 1 season where Juventus won. The rest,
How
was
far?
other
How
teams.
far are the
I
second
went
or
back-
third teams
I-
from actually?
they're like third. Like
It's
in-
Napoli,
yeah,
Atalanta.
So like
yeah.
there was a season Atalanta was number 1
Yeah.
and they finished 3rd or 4th, something like that. So my point is, when it comes to this, is at some point underlying stats becomes a question of, is your manager able to overperform the underlying numbers?
I'll tell. I
And
want to
that's-
rebut. Let me rebut
Okay.
because
Please,
we didn't
please,
have a
please.
debate. Okay.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Um,
Yeah.
I think this year is the most competitive Premier League,
Mhm.
1 through 17, even to
No.
honestly, 20.
I wouldn't say 1.
whole-
I would say like 2 or 3 onwards.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah.
I think
And-
Arsenal is still
the reason
Mhm.
I say that, we had one of the highest Euro coefficients when it came to European spots in the Champions League, in the Europa League, and in Conference League.
9
we have-
teams.
Yeah,
9 teams in Europe.
We have AFCON, which is going to be reducing the quality of certain teams that depend on African players. Hello, us and others. We have
Sunderland.
yeah,
Oh, Sunderland,
yeah.
they have
We have
They're gonna get
teams,
killed.
we have teams overperforming massively in the beginning of the season, causing there to be standing congestion and causing there to be a low delta between these certain standings. So everything is amped up to the nth degree. The quality is higher than it's ever been in terms of player for player
No.
versus other leagues.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying across the table. Not saying we're seeing the best Premier League. No, of course. We're seeing a bunch of like Stoke.
No,
ball,
but we
basically.
are. Hold on, Sean. Don't sell your argument so short just because Nelson interrupted you. I'm telling you the argument for second or third till 12th. There's never been more competition in the Premier League. Never. You could say City and Liverpool, when they were going for the 100 points and 99 points at the top of the league, it was much better, right? In terms of consistency. But across that middle pack, dude, you can go from, let me look at the actual table. Aston Villa is in 3rd. By expected points, they are, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th from bottom. They should be 14th.
Exactly. That overperformance.
But they're 3rd in the table.
They're either going to slide a little bit or do well or do better. What do you know? Those are 3 fucking scenarios. But it's like,
Wait. One second. I know
Michael Owen right
we're
there.
going back and forth. It's like tennis here. But here's the part that I think is also being lost here. One of the teams that should have been in the top 3 is Liverpool. because
Yes.
they if you look at the standard of the squad, there should be a title winning squad. Let's
Yes.
be honest.
Yeah.
Then after that, we look at teams like Tottenham. That, by the way, Frank has really made them worse.
Yeah.
Like they're not
Yeah.
as that's
Yeah.
actually a
Right.
really good team.
Yeah.
So I think actually what the problem is this season is that a lot of good coaches. Nuno was excellent last season.
Yeah.
He has an issue with the Wolves with the
Marion
Nottingham
Nice.
Forest manager, and they have and he's let go.
Yeah.
So technically, what's happened is because of the issues with the good teams,
Yep.
the mid-table teams have actually capitalized on the fact that no one's really being interested. It's like
but Nelson,
like the
Tottenham were
Leicester
shit
season.
last year and they're shit this year, whereas us, we were as bad as them, but we've improved.
They've had two bad managers. That's the
Brentford-
fault of the
No, no,
manager.
but-
Brentford also.
I'm just saying
also
they
sold
spent-
their
Their best-
talisman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sorry,
And-
Andrew.
And
Yeah.
also, Bournemouth also sold a couple of their players as well. So
Yep.
Andrew, go for it. Yeah.
Sick. I was just going to say the idea of capitalization is something that is definitely underrated here, because you have teams like Brighton who have been consistently a selling club, who now have both the ability, because of the money they've generated, but also the PSR they've generated through that, to be able to do what they want. And so as a result, you've been slowly seeing this closing gap.
Not for long
Bournemouth-
though.
until that's gone,
Yeah,
right? And then
yeah.
Newcastle ends up, doing what Man City did and blah 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 blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
But then you have teams like that who've been slowly building over time.
Yeah.
A famous quote from a very very intelligent man: "These are investments from the past into the future." If you remember it. But it's true. Like you have teams who have been slowly building, not just over time. And I've been following F1 recently, right? A good example would be some of the teams there. They've been slowly building their car for 2026 when the regulations change. And so as a result, you will see an entire flipping of the table. What has happened here is that teams who are stuck in the idea of we have to be good have gone for piecemeal ideas, like United have for so long, that other teams have been slowly and consistently building not only like a consistent base of good players, getting better and better, their scouts better, getting everything better, but we have slowly allowed that to be the case where that's the norm. You have Brentford, you have Brighton, both of which have done the exact same thing. Bournemouth have a genius manager in Iraola alongside a unique system and good investments worldwide.
Sunderland.
They owed
And
Yes,
Bournemouth
so-
has been building since Eddie Howe, by the way. It's
Yep.
not
But
just
you-
under this manager.
But you know what? That argument doesn't hold water. Sorry, Andrew. It's because
Go for
look
it.
at Crystal Palace. They're fifth. They lost Eze, who was statistically one of the best players, and they're
But
fifth.
Jeremy
And they-
Pino has shown something that is a lot promising. Mateta has a lot more space.
But hold on,
up.
Nelson, when you
Go on.
say that,
Yeah.
they're 1 point ahead of us,
Okay.
bro.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
kind of-
But that's my point. My argument is that
But that's-
go on, Andrew. Yeah, go on.
I was going to say that kind of contributes to my point, no? Because
Okay.
they're not just building around a player. For instance, our best example of when we were like so obsessed with Pogba, they realized that, okay, well, eventually this will be gone. Let's make sure that the main focus is on both the tactical side with Glasner, because if they'd lost Glasner, it would have fallen apart. And then alongside that, that's why they had to keep Gahey. They had to do what they had to do. And so as a result of that sort of thing, they weren't entirely reliant on Eze. Sure, they lost their best player, but they have things in backup. And this is the problem that United haven't had. We've essentially gone for nice little, plasters over, when the best investments we've realistically made are people like Sekou Kone, God hope that he actually does well. People like, I forget the new one that we bought.
Aiden
People
Heaven-
like
Aiden
Diego-
Heaven is-
Christian Orozco.
Yeah, that's all. And like Diego Leon, like investments that are actually like good. And for goodness sake, we could have bought Moises Caicedo for 1.2 million.
Enzo
And we just-
Fernandez and Julian Alvarez in the same
but
window.
I think we're being a bit reductionist with regards to, again, the institution that we are and the expectations that plague players that come there. You're telling me that if we signed Bellingham from Birmingham, that he would come in, have the type of career that he had from Dortmund, going to Real Madrid. No, it would have been another mismanagement because you had a guy who was managed by his family. You have all these players that come in, Moise Caicedo, getting him from South America.
We
He's
wouldn't
not
have
gonna
given him
see
the game time.
of day. Exactly.
Yeah, but this is exactly what I mean. They can create these structures
No,
to where
but-
they can build a player healthily.
So
Guys,
we haven't done
if
that.
I may just interject a minute. Andy, you asked a question early on. I don't think we ever got around to answering that, which was when do we start performing as per the underlying numbers? And I want to go to Shaylin because I think
can I just preface that with something, and then Shaylin, I want to hear from you, because I'll share my screen again, and I just realized something while we were all talking, and it's so crazy, right? I mean, first of all, guys, 135 people watching, 75 minutes in. And we have 7 people on screen here that clearly care so much about a club that cares less about itself than we do about it. So that's the part I love. And Nelson's best showing today by far because he's the one trying to be positive. So I appreciate that. But
although
I'll
the
say
bar
this,
wasn't too high for that.
No. But no, I'm saying no. We have all been relatively more negative than he has about the performance, and so give him credit where credit is due, right? So I'm looking at us in 8th right now, and you look at the teams above us, right? We have Brighton, Sunderland, Palace, Chelsea, Villa, City, and Arsenal. For me, Villa are massively overperforming their numbers. Their expected points is 15th. I said that. You may not believe me, but that's fine. We'll see it. At some point, we'll see it come together because don't forget, Tottenham was 5th or 6th at some point, and look, now they're performing according to expected points, right? Mm-hmm. I think Villa is a team that drops out of this running, so that puts us in 7th. I think we could be better than Brighton, and I think we can be better than Sunderland, right? So for me, that tells me we can still finish 5th or 6th. That's what the table is telling me, because I think we could do better than these teams throughout the rest of the season. Now,
the ones below us, who can do better than us? I think go through that list as well.
Liverpool and
do better than us.
Newcastle and Liverpool can do better than us, but I'm just saying, like in my opinion, if we're on 8th and there's 2 or 3 teams above us that can do worse and 2 teams below us that can do better, I think we could finish 6th, 7th, maybe, right? One of the European spots. But I think it's predicated to go. It's predicated to go up, to go higher than that. I mean, those are the 2 positions that we're like. That's where our squad is right now.
You gotta say it in reverse, or else it doesn't activate them.
Okay.
Sorry, it's the Gen Z in me.
Between 5th and 8th. How about that?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. And so I think us finishing between 5th and 8th. Even that, I would say, is predicated on us getting somebody in that makes it to the first team squad or adds the first team depth in January. Because, guys, we are bare bones, man. Listen, with Mbeumo playing in his preferred position, him having 3 off games has led to us looking, really poor. If he's not here, and Ahmad was one of our best players, guys, Ahmad and Mbeumo being gone during AFCON, what are we going to do?
Andy, what we do is we need to get in a different number 10 to also compete in Mbeumo and Cunha. So whenever Mbeumo comes back, he knows that he has a competition. That it's not only 6 goals. Or
looks like that's going to be Xerxi now. By the way, that's going to be Xerxi. But then we're going to lose those guys for AFCON, and we're going to have Šeško coming back from an injury. Who knows what he looks like? So yeah, there's a lot of concerns to go around.
Can I make a crazy shout? Or maybe just adjust the system a little bit, because if you lose 2 of your best attacking players, there's no way we're going to improve.
Adjust the system how?
You can either play 2 strikers up top, assuming Šeško comes back on time, and then switch from
midfielders,
or 2 midfielders. You play up.
Or Nelson, I think in terms of like how it lines up, like we gotta stop looking at the lineup and thinking he's gonna play 3-4-2-1 again. We got to look like, okay, what that would look like is Šeško's up top, Xerxes in one of the 10s, and then Cunha. And then what'll happen is it's like a 3-4-1-2 if we want to be FIFA.
You got to look at the relative positions. We can't just look at the starting formation on Hotmob or paper or whatever. Anyway, Shaylin, I think we haven't heard from you for a bit.
Sorry.
So
Shit.
That's all good. No, it's fine. No, I was trying to answer the question you brought up earlier, but I was looking at the thing and I don't understand expected points much. But it said we're at
Nobody does.
22.64.
Nobody does.
And we have 22 points. So like, yes, could we be 23 points or whatever? Sure. But like, then aren't we technically performing exactly to what that model is saying that we should have been?
I think the model would be relative to, so it's an indicator of performance, like because it's XG versus XGA, and then it's like.
So what it does, I'll explain. I'll explain what Understat is doing. It's looking at the events that happened in a game. It's running simulations for out of 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 times if that game happened again. How many points realistically should each of the teams have gotten versus what they actually got?
Yeah.
And part of that modeling is, or main part of that modeling is about the XG and XGA, because those two statistics inherently account for where the shot was taken from, where the goalkeeper was, what pass angle it was, and things like that. I'm sure there's post-shot XG and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
But that's the limit to which they explain their own model. So I'm just telling you based on that.
Yeah. So for example, if a shot is expected to go 5 out of 100 times into the goal from that position, it's a 0.05 XG. Similarly, say a team goes up 2-0 at home after 30 minutes, right? And the opposing team does not create more than 1 XG. How often does the home team win in that situation? So that is the expected points model, where it takes the game state and then it tries to extrapolate in 1,000 variations. How many times do we win? So that's how it attributes the average of each scenario, and then it allots a point percentage to you. So, for example, the Everton game, our XG was our expected point for that game was 2.6 because we created a lot more XG than them, and we were playing at home, and Everton were a man down in the 13th minute. So, given all those factors, we should have been like winning out of 1,000 times. We should have been winning like 800, 900 times maybe, and that's why we were given like a very high expected point rating. So that's how expected points works.
Okay.
And to like tie this all full circle, in the athletic expose, you have people like JJ Bull going and saying, well, their XG is high, but their shots come from out of the box. No. That's already factored in to the expected goal. So it's by virtue of, if you have the higher number, low quality chances are factored in, high quality chances are factored in. And over the course of however many runs or simulation, that's what will happen over the course of time.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Shaylin of Scotland, by the way.
Shaylin still hasn't gotten to his point because he had a question and then
I think the other part to it is then it's just like, okay, hey, if like expected points, kind of, you guys have explained it fairly well to me, so I'm understanding it. But you look at the Villa XG, they're overperforming it by around 4. We're underperforming ours by about 4. If you had 4 more goals, like we would see ourselves rise up the table in any one of those games, right? Especially if you're considering it like over the course of the season. So I think when we perform to the expectation is not necessarily when we're going to start overperforming our XG, but when we actually start performing to the XG, that like for the chances that it is that like we're creating. So probably like that.
The only concern I have that I think most people are noticing this is, since we're all talking statistical models like exponential change, we notice how badly we decay when one of our star players leaves. Šeško leaves, we immediately see a massive drop. Mbumo leaves, we see a massive drop. Cunha leaves.
But could you not argue that there's an underperformance that's happening even with those star players? Because we might be performing more, but
because the independent variables that we're looking at is this: the 3 best players we brought in, Šeško, Cunha, and Mbumo, have significantly improved us because of their individual levels. So if you remove those people,
Nelson, that's on paper though.
No, fact.
Based on what we signed them. No. But hear me out. Right. Last season, Mbumo and Cunha, the biggest overperformers of XG in the league.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct. This season, when they've come in, they are yet to get to that level, and we haven't seen how many games have those 3 started together. Right.
Like a couple games, not many.
Yeah, like three or 4, right? So that's kind of the point when we say the squad depth. The squad isn't good enough. It is in many ways because of the depth as well, because those guys have been gone for 1, 2, 3 games, and we immediately see the impact. Rishi put up a super chat earlier where he said Ahmad and Mbumo have played every minute of the last 5 games. right?
The-
So
the
Ahmad
issue-
looks knackered. And
Yeah.
also, Nelson, I have a question for you, because today, do you think we got worse when Dorgu came on?
Not immediately when Dorgu came on. I noticed the gameplay, the game state changed once he got
Yeah.
on, but not
But he
that
had a negative
played-
impact on the game, right?
Correct.
Even after, like, I know Xerxi and Cunha going off, we discussed this, going off made a big difference. But Dorgu, towards the end of the game, how many chances did he have when he was progressing the ball? Because there was a lot of space on the wings today. West Ham were playing very narrow. So with that space, every time the ball died at Dorgu's feet. And that's what I'm trying to say. When I say the squad isn't good enough, you took
Yeah.
Dallo,
Squad
who
thinness,
wasn't.
yeah.
People were going at Dallo before he scored that goal. We tend to have a very short memory. Like I said, right? If you get a yellow card, you're having a bad game. If you score a goal, you're having a good game. It's not that shallow. So Dallo goes off, who wasn't having a good game himself, and somehow Dorgu comes on and is worse than him, right? And that is the wingbacks. I know you've watched him, AMORIM at Sporting a little bit as well, and you have your ball knowledge. I'll give you that. So if his wingbacks, like one side of the wingbacks is so shallow, and the other side has one player that can play there, it's Ahmad or nobody. That's what I'm talking about when I say the squad isn't good enough for top four. And that's what I'm talking about when I say the squad finishing fourth would be a massive overachievement, which, by the way, you have agreed yourself, right? You've said if
In this
AMORIM gets
system.
fourth with this team.
I'll specify that every single time. In this system would be a massive
Yeah.
overachievement. Yes.
Fair enough. But then it goes back to Andrew's point from earlier, which is we've been such a piecemeal team. We've been such a Band-Aid FC that, you know, every time something happens, it's like, oh, I've got a cut on my finger, but let me ignore the missing leg. You know what I mean? Like, I just, you know, something like that. That's been our reaction in the transfer window. So I'll give you credit in the sense that our expectation should always be high, right? We should be expecting AMORIM to overperform.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you're wrong to feel that way with this, whether you think his system isn't good enough to do it, whatever. But what I'm trying to say is even if you think he could finish fourth by playing 4-2-3-1 counterattack, for example, I think if by not doing that in a season, 2 seasons, 3 seasons from now, instead of finishing second or third, we would actually win the league.
Yeah.
That is the payoff for going through this time that we're going through right now.
I guess that's a part where we've had this conversation multiple times. That's a part that I'll always disagree.
Nelson,
And 1 second, Vinny.
no,
1 second.
no,
Let me
no,
just
1 second,
respond to that.
1 second, please. After
Okay, here we go. Yeah.
no, after you, there was a super chat for regarding those 2 questions. So if
Okay.
Yeah.
we could, go ahead, Nelson.
So, what game was our team performed well for 90 minutes under AMORIM? What game have you enjoyed?
You can wrap up your point, Nelson, and then we can go to this.
Yeah.
So my point about, like, we can talk about formations. It's the most annoying, boring part
Yeah,
about
I hate
AMORIM
it.
and stuff. But for me, this is the part that I can't take away, which is this team. When people complain or people say that it's bad, I cannot hear that. The argument is this team isn't good in the system the way it plays it. So if you expect Dorgu to be, we've seen enough information from him that he's not a good creator. He gets into good positions, not a good creator. And if you're going into AFCON period with our 3 best players gone, and we've noticed how massively we decay, how badly the team performs once you lose those players. How this team-
Nelson, I have to come in here, man, because it's bloody 5 a.m. here, and I have listened to you go on about this. This team is not meant for this system crap over and over again. I'm going to tell you, you said once that this team will do better if it plays a 4-2-3-1 under a different coach. Isn't that
Yeah.
what you said?
I said
Right?
that.
Now I'll tell you how you'll play that 4-2-3-1. You'll start Dorgu at left back. You will start
Yeah.
Mazraoui or Dallo at right back. You will
Correct.
start Yoro and Delict in the center back,
Number 1,
right?
Yeah.
Or maybe Licha and Delict. Okay.
Anyone.
Then you will start because I know you will start bloody Menu in the double pivot along with Casemiro. You will
Correct.
play Bruno at 10. You'll play
Correct.
Mateus Cunha at left wing. You will play
Correct.
you'll play Mbomo at
Correct.
right wing. You'll play
And play
Šeško
one
up
of the
front.
strikers.
Right?
Correct.
These are the same fucking 10 players that we have. I'm sorry for cursing. My bad. I'm sorry for cursing. These are the same players. These are the same players that are playing right now. Any one of them goes out, who the hell are we going to bring in, brother? The problem is there is no depth in the squad. Even the players you've mentioned, the players that will come in. By the way, Mbumo, you're going to play him off the left wing after having sold all the bloody wingers in the world. We had 4 wingers, we've sold 10. That's how many wingers we've sold.
Okay.
Right? And we're going to play cams, people who are performing best in the 10. We're going to play them in the wings.
So
Dude,
I love how passionate you are, but your argument is also part of why I love this. Mbumo's best performance was as a right winger, not as a 10. So
no,
he's already performing well this season.
Wait. No, but you're talking false facts, Nelson. You're talking with equal passion and you're putting the false facts. Brentford played as a 3-5-2. Wissa and Mbumo played together. When the hell was he playing on the wing?
1 second. Did they not multiple times last season? Did they not play 4-4-1-1? And multiple times he played on the wing. If you look at his hit map, he actually played as an inside forward. You can play as 2 strikers on both sides of the wing, and you cut in. You're acting like.
But the position that he's playing in, is the same position he's playing in now.
You argued 2 points. Let me respond to them. You argued 1 point. And by the way, this is why I don't talk about formations, because we can go over and over and over again. But here's my point. You said one thing. You said if you do that, you don't have players who can come in. When you said that formation, you didn't put in Ahmad, you didn't put in Mount, you didn't put in Ugarte or any other player that you might.
But Ahmad is already playing in the first 11 over here.
Correct.
You're talking about bringing them off the bench. We are still playing them in the first 11 over here. The players you're thinking about bringing off the bench, we are having more attacking players in the formation right now.
So Rishi,
we are putting more attacking players. That is the reason. Do you agree that we have more XG now compared to last season? Can you not give that attribution to the formation that we have because we have more attacking players? Because the manager has done more work. We are putting up more XG numbers compared to when Ten Hag was here.
I attribute it to the players we've brought. This is the part that I will say. The players we brought in are better. So you're seeing the independent variables. Look at here's why I would argue.
Cunha scored 1 goal, bro.
How many has Mbumo scored?
Only 3 good matches.
And Mbumo has
Arsenal, against Brighton.
Mbumo scored 5.
And against
Mbumo scored 5.
Okay, so Mbumo has 5 goals. Sheshko has 2 goals. That's 7.
Yeah.
And who else is on the squad?
Cunha has 1.
Cunha has 1. So we have 8. How many goals do we have? In total, 22.
Bruno has 2 goals, 5 assists.
Then
just got it.
Then then account for all the other, and then the 10 goals that we've got from what's it called, like corner kicks and all those set pieces.
But corner kicks aren't a player. Are you counting player goals or are you counting system goals?
So you have 3 goals that you can account for from players that haven't come in or were previous players. So the argument is we have improved primarily because we brought in
Nelson. Doesn't this sound a little bit like you're trying to just use things to beat AMORIM with, bro? Why is it that we have to beat him? I don't understand this. I'm literally stating because I'm trying to hold on. The 10 set piece goals. AMORIM doesn't get credit for that.
No, but that's my argument. My argument, Rishi. Why are we changing arguments? Rishi stated how we have improved. These players haven't improved us. It's a system, and I'm literally
no. Hold on. My argument was that you come up with this same old boring ass 4-2-3-1 argument when there is no leg to stand on.
Okay,
because all the players that you want to start with are already playing here.
We played a 4-2-3-1 with a coach you didn't rate, in a system you didn't rate. We finished 3rd with players you didn't rate. We finished 3rd. Those same players.
It was a band-aid. It was a band-aid approach.
That was massive overperformance. That was massive overperformance. We should have finished 6th in that season.
I agree. We overperformed. I agree. That's my point. In a season that Andrew stated that a lot of capitalization is from looking at teams when they're so tight. Every single one of those points you get gives you a massive advantage. So you deny.
But Nelson,
AMORIM, 1 second. Let me finish my points, guys. You can't keep stopping. AMORIM literally
he's been oppressed enough, man. Let him finish his point.
AMORIM literally stated that he changed his formation to pragmatism because he realized that his style of play doesn't work. That's the coach. right?
So let me
So
let me address that. Right.
Go ahead.
Okay. So this is the issue.
We are never getting to that super chatter.
Yeah, we'll just
No,
try
no,
to
no. I
the
mean,
super chat, by the way,
but
right now.
we're no,
Go on,
but
yeah, yeah.
we're reeling it
Let's
in.
go to the
Okay.
super chat, guys.
Yeah.
No. So
Hold on. We
the
gotta
issue
get
with
to-
not getting good results or throwing away the league or giving reasons to again look at like the manager's record as an indictment is that we've racked up a bunch of losses under his system. Okay. Now, if we're going to be judging a project and saying when are we going to reach that potential of what the XP is, this is the sad answer. Time's going to dictate whether or not Nelson's decay is actually accurate based on the depth of the squad. With the current squad, how it is so these players on the pitch, they put up that XP. They put up those numbers. Those players, we're going to have more players off the bench. We're going to see the strength of squad, the strength of management, and that's going to dictate whether or not we're going to have enough points to finish in whatever those standings are.
I agree.
So it's
I agree
this. So all we have to judge now is performance based on more of the tools that Ineos said they would provide this manager, which is how they believe is going to
Yeah.
be the system that delivers them the top of the league, not bit part piecemeal transfers by committee that just get us to the highest extracted points that we can get that we did under other managers that are more
Don't.
pragmatist.
Sean,
I-
and again,
Vinny, I just want to say one thing
add-
before we go to the. Sorry, just one thing quickly. I think I have come after 10 conversations on this topic to the bottom of what Nelson and I disagree on categorically. Okay, I think Nelson thinks us finishing third under Ten Hag was Ten Hag overperforming, not the players. Whereas what I see is that the players overperformed that season. If you guys remember, Varane, Licha,
Rashford.
Casemiro, and Rashford. Rashford also carried us through many games. We won many games,
Best
1
player in
and
the world
2-0.
for 3 months.
Exactly. And that was not our system creating
No.
those opportunities to make us that thing, right? So the players overperformed, and now I feel like you think the players are doing well, but the coach is underperforming. And
No,
I categorically disagree about that.
That's why you and I disagree. I don't see players performing well. You know what I see? I see we brought in 2 really good players in Cunha and Bumo that have literally leveled us up. Last season, one of the things I actually felt bad for AMORIM is that he only had 1 left winger in Garnacho. That's actually a thing I felt bad for him, because on the right side, Ahmad, even though Ahmad did play well in multiple times last season, you could see once people started doubling up on him, we had no other output unless he plays Garnacho, who he didn't rate. But when I look at this team, and when you said exactly about Ten Hag, multiple things he actually played in that time was to maximize Fernandes. Bruno had the most chances created ever, big chances created that he's ever had in that season. Rashford overperformed, yes. Varane overperformed, yes. Licha overperformed. I'm not denying that. But that system showcased 2 things. All of us can agree on something. It doesn't matter whether we put 3 defenders, 5 defenders, we don't defend well. And this game really showcased a great example. Had we killed this game off, scored 1 more goal, we win this game. Everyone agrees.
Yeah.
I'm actually the one who was positive and said this game was a winnable game.
Yeah.
But things happened and we just move on. It bodes
Don't you
nothing
give
as a
credit
winnable
to
game.
AMORIM for what we did in this game?
Yes, I did at the beginning.
Yeah.
I literally said this was
Yeah.
the best attacking team I've seen him start. I actually rated
But
that.
I
haven't
feel
seen
you. I so here's the sense I get, and the
on.
sense of disagreement, Nelson, which is that I feel like you're willing to hold back the praise a little bit on AMORIM, and because that's where we differ, right? Realistically, what's the point of the difference? I think he's actually doing as well or better than we should expect him to do with this squad. And your point is that he's actually doing worse than we expect because the squad is better than it's looking right now, right? And I think if I heard you correctly, you're saying that his system is making some of these players look worse than they are.
Correct.
Is that fair?
That's fair.
That's your problem?
That's
Okay.
my problem.
Now,
Because
if I
Oh,
come
really?
back to
If you
No,
name me-
no, no.
and-
Hold on,
oh,
Andy. One
okay.
second. Nelson, tell me exactly what these players would be doing differently in a 4-2-3-1. I want to hear if it makes sense because I think it's bullcrap.
Here's what
I
I
want to
love.
hear you say
Yeah,
exactly
sure.
what these players would be doing
How
differently.
many players? All of
Winning,
our players
evidently.
struggle
No,
with space.
don't ask me questions.
Can
Give
I-
me
can I-
answers.
Can I answer
What-
your
what-
question? Stop talking.
You're
and I'll
not.
answer
You're
your
asking me more questions.
question. No, I'm
Answer the
responding.
question,
I'm
man.
saying if you look at this,
Guys,
with-
calm down.
we struggle with space. Every time there's space, all these players struggle. Both Menu, Ugarte, Casemiro is the only one who seems to be doing well with space. If you solidify that midfield, you don't have that space. That's what Ten Hag did so well. Every single time, look at every team that plays against us. They immediately move the ball to the width, and whenever they do the cutback, look at where that player is. Look at how much space he has. Every time, instead of pushing up, we all agree the defenders sit
But
deep.
no, Nelson.
But
See,
by playing-
now I have to
Conceded
interject.
similar
I have to
goals to
interject
Ten Hag.
because this
So
used
you
to,
said
this has
don't
been
answer questions,
happening.
but then you
This
shall-
has
okay,
been
go on.
happening.
Similar
No, because
goals to Ten
you're
Hag's
stating
era.
wrong facts, Nelson. I have to interject when you're stating wrong facts, right? This has been happening since Oli. That cutbacks are a problem.
Yeah,
Our fullbacks
yeah.
are not able to defend the far post or the near post. This has been happening for 5 years when we were playing the 4-2-3-1 formation that you're talking about under 3 different coaches before this one.
So let me ask you
So
a
it is
question.
not what you're
was
saying is
Ole's
not making
worst season?
sense.
Sorry, since you're saying we're underperforming, so we're overperforming with Amram, what was Ole's worst season? What did he finish?
He got sacked for God's sake.
What did he finish?
got sacked. That was his worst season.
Because the answer doesn't follow your trail of thought, does it? Because my point of view is, I think Ole wasn't a good coach, to be fair with you. But at the same time, I also see that a guy who underperformed playing a system that finished sixth, and a guy who's, if you say we finished around 7th or 8th with decent players, that to me is actually a poor team. That's a poor performance. And by the way, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, the owner, even though has backed him, has also stated that he expects his team to finish fourth. Oh, sorry, part owner. But either way, he has stated he expects his team to finish fourth. So if you're telling me that the owner is saying we should be finishing fourth, but you're telling me it's okay to finish sixth, I feel like there's a contradiction there. Because
Nelson, hold on. Sir Jim also when Todd Bowley wanted to buy Chelsea, he was glazing Chelsea as much as he wanted to, right? So this is a person who owns a public company, private company, whatever, one of the richest people in the world. He will say whatever it takes to get stuff off his back or get people off Amram's back, whatever his agenda is, he's going to say that, right? Unless you had a private conversation with him. Oh yeah, unless you had a private conversation with Sir Jim, let's not bring in stuff he said, because Glazers have said they wanted to make this club the greatest club ever, and they haven't done shit for that, right? So I don't want to hear Sir Jim saying we should finish fourth, because we all thought, maybe you were the only one who didn't, that he was crazy for saying that, right? That he was crazy for saying we should finish fourth.
No,
but I want to just you thought he wasn't crazy?
No, because he literally gave the guy. How many managers get 200+ million worth of investments?
Ten Hag did.
Whoever the Chelsea manager was a couple years ago.
I'm not saying for Man United. I'm saying for other teams.
Dude,
Chelsea.
Spurs got 200 million worth of players. Spurs got, Sunderland got 180 million worth of players, and they were just promoted.
Have you seen how much Arteta has spent?
Yes, and but that's my point. What are those teams expected to finish? With the amount of money.
How long though? Hold on. Over how long has Arteta spent that money? It's been 6 years. This is his sixth year.
My question, my whole point is that when Sir Jim Ratcliffe, here's the part that I'm going to do the 6-7 thing. Here's the part that doesn't make sense to me. At one point you say AMORIM has been backed by Sir Jim Ratcliffe, but at the same time you say when he said we should be finishing fourth, we shouldn't listen to
Nelson, if you were listening, we've all said AMORIM has not been backed by Sir Jim. He has literally 4 players that he wanted.
Can I make a point?
Sure.
Yeah. I think he's been backed, but not backed enough.
Fully. Yeah.
Right. And one thing that we also need to take into consideration is before Ineos went in for AMORIM, they knew that this is how AMORIM played his football. So for me, right, the system-wise, all those is a non-starter because they knew this is the kind of guy we wanted to bring in, and they went and brought him in. Ten Hag played a 4-2-3-1. At times he played a 4-3-3,
Mhm.
but it never seems to work. And to be honest with you, I never wanted Ten Hag out because I saw what he did at Ajax, even though he was struggling at the latter days before he left. But then it did not work, right? It just didn't work because we started even conceding penalties, which the following day, PGMOL, I don't know what their
PGMOL.
name is. Yeah, they were coming to apologize for it, right? Against this same West Ham. So it wasn't working. So the point that I want to make is that let's actually give the coach a bit of time. And back to what Sir Jim Ratcliffe said, they need to really back the manager fully before
So
they can
Vinny,
make it. Yes,
Vinny and Rishi, do you think they're going to back him this January?
they have to.
But
They
will
have
they?
to.
They have to. I agree with you. Will they?
Yeah.
Will they bring him? How many players do you think they should back him? Because
One wing back,
For me,
one
at
wing
least
back,
3
one
players.
midfielder.
one wing back, one wing. Do you think they will?
For me, at least 3 players.
Because I don't think they will. I think they're going to wait till the summer.
Then you shouldn't be expecting the coach to work miracles with this squad. And again,
But I
this is where
actually
we
think
clash
that's-
a bit, right? This I understand. I know you
Vinny,
have your
sorry, go ahead.
perspective on the
Yeah.
on the squad,
Yes.
but then this is where we clash.
Yeah.
I don't rate this squad, and it was
Mm.
obvious for us to see, in the games against West Ham and in the games against what's the name, Everton, even in the games against Nottingham, and all those draws that we actually had, right? It was so glaring that we were lacking quality. Guys, the team lacks competition. If it's Ahmad playing, who is not having a good game today, if I were to be Amorim, I would have subbed up what's the name of the guy, number 19, Imbumo.
Mhm.
I would have substituted him long time. But take Imbumo off, who do you bring in? You bring in a Shelezi or you bring in a Kobe Mino who is also struggling, right? So we have to judge him fairly when it comes to assessing the whole season, right? They need to back him, Nelson. They need to.
I'm with you. Yeah, I think what's lost in translation for you guys is that I don't mind Amram. I don't mind the formation. I want,
Just think it would be better.
Exactly. That's my point. My point isn't that I don't back him. My point is, here's how I see things. I watch a lot of football, boys. Like a lot of football. I watch Serie A. I watch League.
Same here. Same here.
I grew up watching Serie A. By the way.
Guilty.
Yeah, I grew up watching Serie A. I didn't grow up watching the Premier League.
Ah.
And one of the things I noticed with the Serie
Scottish
A
League.
is that consistently you see the best managers, how adaptable they are. And one of the things I worried about Amorim was when he stated, I only play this way. And I went, you're going to learn in this league, that's not how this works.
But he
if he
already
doesn't
said he
get
has,
back,
right?
Yes, which is, again, I agree. And I like
Yeah.
that.
It's
I
bad
like
play for
that.
the owners, if anything.
Yeah, I like that. But if they don't back him this January, I feel like the noises you're hearing from fans is going to skyrocket in the summer.
Well, then they shoot themselves in the foot in this case because
I agree.
Andy, I think we've
Because-
discussed enough on this topic.
Go to
with
the
Yeah,
super
man,
chat. I
super
feel
chat,
bad.
yeah, the super
Let's
chat.
go to
Yeah,
that
let's-
super chat.
let's
The
address
poor
the
guy,
super chat.
I think he's already gone to sleep. He's also from India. Sorry,
Yeah.
Shivam. I'm so sorry, dude. Mohanty, I
I'll see you on
think,
the VOD,
Oriya brother. Hope you're still listening to us after all
Yeah,
that.
And
all that
listen,
torture we
we'll
put you through.
we'll put your hard-earned money to good use and finish the show with this conversation. Because for me, the team, the 3 games, I'll give you 3 games where our team has performed well, according to me. It would be Sunderland, Liverpool, and Brighton, and not just because we won those 3 games.
What about the
I thought-
Arsenal game?
Arsenal game, yes, but I don't. It was too early in the season. Like that was the game where we thought Dorgu was going to be the left wing back answer because he hit the post, right? And listen, it might have changed the season if he scores against Arsenal and we go on to draw the game, win the game. It might have even changed the league because Arsenal wouldn't be on 33 points right now. But for me, it was those 3, and I would say actually this game today, I saw a lot of good attacking patterns as well. And again, like for me, I think the players, like we can't discount enough that even the new players, the great players that we've purchased, they are still getting used to a new system, right? It's not even about good system, bad system. It's just different. So even Cunha and Bumo, Sheshko, like those guys, by the end of the season will be much better than they are looking right now. And so what game have I enjoyed watching under AMORIM? Bro, as a content creator, it's hard to say if I've enjoyed any of the games, because no matter what you say, like you have somebody, popping up and giving an argument. And actually the folks like Nelson are ones who I can get behind 100%, because at least he's here giving his opinion, right? Whereas so many people are just like, listen, AMORIM out because I don't like the way he looks, or there was a high school bully named Ruben that used to bother me, so I'm just going to be AMORIM out for no reason.
Portuguese league isn't good enough is a common one.
Yeah,
as well.
Portuguese league isn't good enough. There's so many crap arguments for that. And I think, like, genuinely, from what I can see, like, Nelson just wants the team to be better, and I can respect that. Right? I'll give him that. And what's it called? We have another super chat here. ETH abandoned his Ajax principle after Brentford.
Exactly.
That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah, he did. That was 2 games
And
into the
guys,
season.
Back to what Andrew said, right? Our greatest manager came from Scotland, for God's sake.
Hey, don't
He came from the Scottish League.
He
played for my home cities as a striker. So
I thought he wasn't a good striker.
he played for Dunfermline Athletic Football Club.
Okay.
We are not good.
Okay, fair enough.
Looks like Andrew has a thing for bad teams.
Wait,
don't even.
Did you answer the second part of that question? What game have you enjoyed?
What game have I enjoyed watching under AMORIM? Honestly, the most fun I had was probably Brighton, because we were 3-0 up.
Yeah, that was a good
That was
game.
probably the one I had the most fun in. And then we also saw the Lawman's mistake with Welbeck for that one. And then the Xerxi mistake on the second one. But we got another super chat here.
Come on, Leon was just fucking unbelievable.
I thought he meant this
Even
season.
the-
So like that's
Even the Bilbao game, we
Guys,
beat
Sunderland
them
game was
7-0
also
on aggregate, I think.
The
So
Sunderland game was good.
address the super chat, but I was gonna say it's like
Yeah, it says
Nah,
after
it's
that it was
okay.
papering over the cracks, run of form, which brought
It's
short-term
fine.
success but long-term disaster.
we've spoken at length, like what the fuck?
Yeah, we have.
What?
Yeah.
Like people, we can only like beat a dead horse for so long.
True,
We gotta-
I think RSV is watching like 30 minutes behind on the stream,
Yeah,
right? He's like
100%,
gone
yeah.
back and he's giving super chat, so I can't blame
In
him.
30 minutes, he's gonna be like, "Thank God, Sean, shut the what up." Like, dude, I didn't want to hear another sidebar.
Yeah. No, but listen, I'll say this, right? For me, I'm trying to be optimistic. That's why we're here. That's why we still have 110 people watching, right? People enjoyed this discussion. They see 6 people being passionate about the club and trying to make sense of what's happening, right?
Yeah.
And my only wish is that Ineos has the same passion when they're trying to decide what to do with the club, because I think like the best thing that can happen for me is that we go get 2 players in the transfer window, like I said, which is a left wing back and a midfielder, and we go and finish like let's say 4th place, and that kind of shows that listen, we perhaps didn't have the squad to begin with, and now we do have the squad, right? And to go perform. And listen, if I think Nelson would be happier in the situation where we go do that and we actually finish 2nd, because AMORIM overperformed as well.
Yeah.
Right. So I think we're all wishing for the same thing from the club, but it's just about how we're going to go about it, because one thing is for certain, like the quality at the top of the league is so high that the fact that Aston Villa at 15 expected points can be 3rd with 27 points on the board, right? They are as close to Man City to the title race as anybody else, right? They're 1 point behind City after playing crap all season. That doesn't just happen. That happens because of quality of the players shining through and fine margins going your way. And to do all of that, you still need somebody to score the goals. Like I still think we should have lost against Forest, right? Ahmad scoring that crazy goal was the reason we got the draw.
Yeah.
And against Tottenham, bro, we scored in the last 30 seconds of the game from a Delict header when Vicario was, busy sitting in his net
Well,
like
both
a
of those
spider.
scenarios, we should never let them get back in because we were from leading positions.
That's
and
true.
Then you have,
That's true.
And
But
then you
game
have
state.
the first 5 games. We on the whole, we should have won at least three quarters of them. Or so I don't know. when results don't show, you try to hang your hat on performances. Today was a good performance day or decent performance day. Bad result for the project, and I think that's where the frustration of the manager in the post game goes, because at the end of the day, like, he's going to be judged on his results. We chucked last year's results out the window, and now when we don't get a good result that comes in, we're going to get the people coming in saying worst manager in United history, this and that. It's like, well, if you just want to view things without context, then sure, that's fine. Everyone's got an agenda to prove. So,
and I just want to clarify, guys, because I've seen some comments on, there are a lot of people that watch these streams after the stream is over as well, right? Actually, I'd say a good 40-50% of the total views come after the stream, because people may not be live and all that. And I see Nelson getting some hate in the comments for his takes. You need to realize he's coming from the place of trying to make sense of this club and also make it improve,
100%.
right?
And by the way, I don't mind the hate. Let me just clarify. I don't mind the hate.
They don't hate you. They don't hate you, Nelson.
Here's
They
the
don't
part.
hate you.
Here's the part that
I'd
I
rather
think
have an opinion than none.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. So if you disagree with me, that's fine. I don't mind it. I actually find that hilarious.
I'll even go one step further. No. I don't like the way the 3-4-2-1 creates chances in general. I've seen it in the Portuguese league. I've seen the way the cutbacks are. That's just not my style of play. I love a 4-3-3 expansive pace, power, like aggression, that type of, like, with the talismanic players out wide. Now, but I can also understand and recognize that on an international level and in against Europe, I think it has the highest ceiling. Because when things don't go well in the 4-3-3, when things don't go well in the 4-2-3-1, you are SOL. So that's where it's like, I don't have biases towards a system. I would love if he played a different system, but if we're going with this system, go in. That's my thing.
And also,
we
Sean,
have this manager, you may as well play to his strengths.
Exactly.
Also, I feel like this AMORIM system doesn't just come out of thin air. It is a response to the 4-3-3, 4-2-3, 4-2-3-1 domination.
It's a meta shift. Look,
Well,
every time in the international break, why the fuck is every team top to bottom? You'll see the range of players. There's so many 3 at the back systems, and they don't they don't all play the same either. But when we've
Nelson knows this because he watches Serie A a lot, right? They play a lot of 3 at the back.
3-5-2, different variations. 3-1-4. Like, it's just there's
some
so
are closer
many.
to 5 at the back.
It's because of Cruyff. Like, Cruyff hated the 4-2-3-1 so much that he actually implemented the 3-4-3, literally to negate the 4-4-2/4-2-3-1 thing.
Yeah.
It's all entirely about what my problem with a lot of this is that each manager and each system has a ceiling, right? And you will inevitably get to that. It's like what we've seen with Arteta, right? The floor versus the ceiling. The floor of what he ended up dealing with, he got like really mid. Like, everyone thought, get him out, he's awful.
Have you seen the chat, Nelson? Sorry, Andrew. Have you seen
I just saw a message. Yeah.
As it should be. But it's true. Like, every system has a ceiling and a floor. The question is, how much do you believe in the system and the ceiling of what Ruben could build here?
Correct.
And so my personal belief is that the second a manager is employed, every fan should at least hope that system is good enough in general. If not, then there shouldn't have been an appointment in the first place. And at that point, you immediately as a fan suggest that the board are incompetent, they should do nothing. So it's inherently, again, a good example is like people building Arteta. You've got Pep back in the day. His floor was okay, but for the amount that he spent, that he would, and also because of the amount of debt equity that he accrued over his time as a manager, that people rated him. I'm of the opinion right now that because of what AMORIM did at Sporting, which was a complete clear out of both the culture, the complete clear out the culture.
They had the ultras attacking the players in the training pitch.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Similar to what happened in Nice, by the way. Was it Nice? Who was it?
Nice. It was Nice.
Yeah, it was Nice. They went. And isn't Nice owned by Sir Jim?
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Damn.
It's
Yeah.
the reason why Todibo plays for West Ham and not us.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
Uh,
you know what's funny? I actually liked Todibo until it was crazy. I was like, "This is crazy that we didn't get him." It was such a stupid rule, but
I think it was the one that we were going for until
Yeah.
they said
Dude,
no,
that's-
and then we went in for Euro.
I
Yeah.
mentioned
Yeah.
that in the
But-
pregame.
but
I was like, dude, I wanted him, and then I was like, oh, kind of thank God we didn't. But
Yeah, exactly.
but he was pretty
I'll-
okay
he
today.
was good this game. I think he
Yeah,
was one of
no,
our best
it's like
players.
I would take him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and Bumo also was like super weak on that
Yeah.
side, so he made
Very, very
Todibo
weak.
look
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
And I'll say this to end off. I think for everyone that's AMORIM out, and some of you guys are watching this, right? Because you're like, now what? The second we lose, and
Hate watch.
I encourage you, to criticize the team the way Nelson criticizes the team, the way Vinny criticizes the team, the way I criticize the team, Shant or Andrew, because I think you guys think I'm related to AMORIM just like Dallo's related to AMORIM, right? I think that's the misconception. Because listen, I am from the part of India, like my ancestors are from the part of India that was ruled by Portugal for till like 1970.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
so maybe there's some long
Now
lineage.
Probably there's a connection there.
Ah.
You know,
There's a connection there.
maybe-
Now he's dropping the hints we didn't know. Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
maybe that's the long lineage, and maybe that I've been caught, right?
That's good.
But it would be a long con for me to be out here putting in 8 hours, 10 hours a day. I've been live for 6 hours today, guys. 3 shows, okay, 3 live shows, and for me to stand here and defend him, I only hope that freaking what's it called, Glinios, is also sitting there realizing how much this club actually means to some of us, and does the right thing. Because listen, if we win the league while AMORIM is underperforming, I don't think Nelson gives a damn.
I could care.
Yeah, he
Right?
doesn't.
Yeah, less.
He doesn't.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
only care about winning. That's my
Exactly.
point of view.
So let's make sure we win. And honestly, man, can we just go win the next 2 games? Because it's hard making these videos when like 200 people watch. Okay, come on.
Views
Let's go
do
get a
go up when
victory.
we do badly, though.
What's that?
Views do go up when things go badly.
Not
though.
for
You
my
get that
channel,
Arsenal-
though, 'cause
Yes,
I'm not
you'd be
here.
Surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
No, not for my
Arsenal-
channel though,
Arsenal
because
fan
I'm not
TV.
here. Yeah, that's because I'm not ranting and raving, right? You look at Husam, who's a Liverpool fan, and I don't mind him being slot out. That's his club. He can do what he wants.
Yeah.
But there's so much yelling and screaming. There's
Smart
emojis
man.
in the
I'm
yeah,
still slot in.
exactly. Yeah, me too.
Negative news attracts. So
Exactly. So
It's because
yeah,
it's
we need-
because hate's a more powerful emotion than actually dealing with things logically. There's reasons for it, but I feel like it negatively ends up affecting your club in the long haul.
Yes, be cool. My ancestors are from Goa. Interesting tidbit before we end the stream here. Basically, when the Portuguese invaded, they were forcing everybody into Catholicism, as one does, right? 15th century, Vasco da Gama. And my ancestors didn't want to convert, so they left that state and they went to a state that's south of that called Karnataka. And that's the reason why I speak a similar language to the one that's spoken in Goa today, but I'm not a Catholic. I'm Hindu. And so I am, like, let's say lineage wise from Goa, but not actually from Goa. Interesting
So,
story. Anyways,
I don't
know what reaction I was expecting from that story. Like,
No,
you
it's
know,
no, it from like a diaspora like standpoint, like history. I mean, where would you think like Portugal and India would have any type of overlap? And it's like,
well,
the-
Vasco da
the-
Gama was trying to find the other
Yeah.
side, and he went to the wrong place, much the
Yeah.
opposite of Christopher Columbus or whatever.
Yeah.
But
That's why United's such an
yeah,
interesting club. Everyone from around the world has some interest in it, so you always hear some different stories.
exactly. All right, guys, that's it for me, man. Great stream today. I'm glad Rishi's gone to bed finally,
poor
because I think
guy.
he needed some help. I'm gonna Amazon him some like melatonin so he can just go to sleep. But yeah, anyways, guys, great stream. Thank you for joining.
What time
Andrew,
Sean,
even
is it for you
Vinny?
guys?
It's 7 p.m. for me in Canada. Shant is 4 p.m.
Probably
Yeah,
it's
it's
one.
chill
Ginny-
for me.
1 in the
1 a.m.
morning. Nelson.
Yeah.
Nelson's the same time as me.
Same time, yeah.
Fair.
Cool, guys. Andrew, what time is it for you?
At midnight, because I'm still in Scotland.
Right.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
And
Enjoy your night, guys.
unfortunately- Check out the Scottish League, by the way. There's a lot going on right now for some reason.
Okay. All right, we'll check it out. Cool. Thanks, guys. Peace.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye.
So,
Have a good one, guys.